call me Reggie the Wrecker.
Hello everyone, welcome to Kill the Cast. My name is Jerry, and joining me as always, the ever-quotable Jay.
I keep telling you, no quotes for Horror Coliseum.
You should get better at your job. And the silent home biker himself, Kenneth.
Howdy.
And joining us from a podcast by the cemetery, it's not in the cemetery, it's just right next to it, is the man, Scott Crawford.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome to hell. So Jay, how you been?
I've been pretty good. I started a second job this past week, so I think I've clocked 60 hours in the last 5 days, and that's pretty tiring. But besides that, pretty good. I actually succeeded in watching 31 horror movies for Halloween. I didn't think I was because I went on vacation for a week, but I managed to get them all in there, so pretty excited about that.
Look at you, killing the game. Kenneth, what have you been up to?
Hanging out with the kids is pretty much it. Went to a Native American festival yesterday, which is pretty fucking rad. Other than that, a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, you didn't give them blankets.
Sorry, I just walked in and was like, this is my affair now.
Scott, what you been up to?
Oh, not too much. Just doing college homework, and then any free time I have right now, it's getting sucked away into Red Dead Redemption 2.
Of course, you fucking cowboy.
Fuck yeah.
And
one of my favorite games from last generation. I had to get this one.
Well, at least some people get paid, have the time to play video games. I do not.
I was playing
just don't-
video games, but my PSP screen died on me.
Yeah, I seen your
Yeah,
post about that.
baby.
That fucking sucks.
It's like the world does not want me to play Final Fantasy VII and give it a fair shake. Just doesn't not want me to do it. So, either way. Anyway, so we've got a couple things before we kick this off. First of all, since everyone's throwing their hat in the Halloween ring, we're going to throw our hat in the Halloween ring. We're going to review the 2018 Halloween, and I'm going to let Jay go first.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right, Scott.
It was good.
All right, Kenneth.
All right.
Did you just bark at me?
Kenneth is dead.
I could have sworn he just said ARF.
All right.
That's what it sounded like.
I fucking lost my microphone.
All right, I
Oh,
lost my microphone out of 10. That's a pretty good rating.
Hey, you want to start it over?
I'd have to start everything over now.
Oh shit!
Way to go.
All right.
No, it's funny. Leave it in. It's fine.
That's great stuff. And yeah, I thought it was good. Anyway, so moving on from that least important thing to something more important. Scream Factory, why are you fucking up so bad right now? Jesus.
Poor Scott.
God.
If you haven't been paying attention to any Facebook horror group, Scream Factory has been fucking up and having shit happen to them, and they are not in good graces right now. So there's a couple of things. One, they're no longer letting any website except for Amazon take pre-orders, and Amazon can't drop the price during the pre-order time. They can only drop it afterwards.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, so places like Bull Moose and Diabolic are not allowed to put a pre-order up for Scream Factory releases.
That's so fucking. There's got to be some kind of law against that.
Probably not. And they're not giving a real reason. They're saying it's something behind the scenes and they just can't talk about it. So no clue what's actually going on.
Amazon's probably buying them out or something.
I have no
I hope
clue.
not.
I think they're trying to get more people to just pre-order directly from them, which leads into the next problem. When you pre-order through Scream, you're supposed to get your movie 2 weeks ahead of time. That has not been happening for the past couple of releases. The Halloween steel cases, Creep Show, Night of the Demon steel case, it's not been happening. This one is not fully their fault. The only US plant that did Blu-rays shut down, so everyone is having to do it through a bunch of different other factories that are not in the United States. Not completely their fault there, but the problem is they weren't transparent about it from the get-go. They waited until everyone was like, why the hell haven't I got my releases? People from Amazon got their releases before I did, and I pre-ordered through you for 2 weeks extra.
Yeah, because I didn't even get an email until like the day that it was supposed to be hitting the streets.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big problem. The third one is when you pre-order through Scream, you get a poster or a lithograph, which a lithograph is just a fancy poster. And they've all been coming in damaged, and not from shipping. It's from how they're being packed. Me and Scott can both attest to this because, Scott, you had Creepshow and Night of the Demons come in messed up?
Yeah, Creepshow was creased, and Night of the Demons was basically crushed.
Yeah. And for me, Halloween 3, Night of the Demons, and Creepshow all came in damage for me. And they're so, flooded with emails right now that it's taking them, almost 2 weeks to reply to people. So
yeah, because I think you and I both got the reply in the same day, but I think we both sent them out right after we got our packages.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a lot of shit. Hopefully, Scream Factory can fix these issues. They said the pre-order issue with delivery date should be fixed by the time 2019 pre-orders start coming in. So for the rest of the year, they could still be late. So Critters box set, there's a good chance you're probably going to be late. Steel Case,
I want that box set.
Probably going to be late. I've got the Creepshow box set pre-ordered through Scream, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything comes through all right. The posters seems like the easiest fix. Just quit having whoever you hired. I don't even know what joke to make about the people you hired because I don't want to offend stone teenagers because I feel like they still could have done a better job of packing these posters than what Scream Factory is doing. So I don't know who's doing it, but wow, they are just shoving them in tubes and wrecking them. So Scream Factory is going to take a big hit for the end of the year because they are fucking up.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that are swearing them off for quite a while now.
Yeah,
well, that seems stupid over a few. I understand, but they still put out some solid releases. So getting rid of them or swearing them off completely, I feel like that's only going to last as long as it takes for them to put out an exclusive that somebody actually wants, and then they're like, oh, maybe it's time to give them another chance.
No, I agree with you. I feel like a lot of people are jumping the gun with, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this. And a lot of it's them blaming them for the delayed deliveries. There's also something that Scream Factory couldn't help in that. There was nothing they could really do.
It's not like I needed that movie right then.
And considering how well that Scream Factory has done so far, every company deserves a fuck up every once in a while.
Yeah, they just happen to have 3 fuck ups in a row.
Well, you get what I'm saying. I mean, they all have happened right at the same time, so it's give them a pass. I mean, shit, they're putting out some badass movies that otherwise, we probably wouldn't get or we'd have to order them from the UK.
Very true.
Exactly.
So that's it with Scream Factory. Hopefully they fix their shit. So last before we jump into this horror Coliseum, we haven't put out any episodes since the beginning of October. And October is a hard month for us to record anyway. Both my birthday and my goddaughter, aka Kenneth's daughter, her birthday is the same day as mine. And then I have a horror convention I go to. So it's a hard, and those are literally 2 weekends in a row we cannot record. So it's really hard for us. But this one got even harder because I went to the hospital the Thursday before my horror convention. Was it? I think it was Thursday. So, okay. So here's what happened. My anxiety came back full force. I couldn't take it. And I had a bottle of Xanax pills. And I was just about to go to sleep. And I'm talking perma-sleep. I wanted the anxiety to just stop. Well, while I had the pills in my hand and I was looking at them, trying to make a decision, my mom called me. She had that mom telepathic fucking fire starter shit. And she texted me right at that moment. And so I called her and I told her what I was doing. And she took me to the emergency room. And I got put in the hospital for that. While I was in there, it turns out I'm diabetic. So I can no longer make diabetic jokes towards Jay.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always diabetic.
I went in there with my blood sugar level when I got admitted was 535. A normal one is in the like 80 to 120.
Holy shit.
They said I was like 2-3 days away from a diabetic coma. So ironically, my attempt at suicide saved my life. So with that being said, I was then kept in the hospital the entire weekend. I didn't go to the horror convention. It took them a few days to get my heart right and get my blood sugar down. Kenneth even came by and saw me, and he was pissed off because they wouldn't let anyone stay in my room for longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was bullshit. I was just like, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what's the worst fucking thing to do to somebody that fucking, is going through what Jerry was going through? Let's leave them by themselves in fucking isolation.
That actually makes me feel better, because I seriously contemplated renting a car and driving from Chicago down to visit you, and then trying to drive back in time to catch my plane home.
I mean, seriously. I mean, it was just fucking stupid, because it's like, you couldn't just sit in there and, because Jerry was sleeping most of the day anyway, but you couldn't just sit in there and fucking hang out with him or something. So I'd go back there, fucking hang out with him for a little bit, and then go sit in the fucking lobby for like an hour and a half, and then go hang out with him for 15 minutes or so, then go sit in the lobby for an hour and a half. I mean, it was just fucking stupid, man.
Yeah, that is weird.
And I'm being watched 24/7. Like, there's someone
watching. They wouldn't even fucking let him have a pillow.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me have a pillow, so my neck hurt for like a week after that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they wouldn't let me have a pillow. I was not allowed to have a pillow.
I guess they thought that he was going to try to smother himself with a fucking pillow.
Yeah,
that's physically impossible to do that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Especially when you're being watched 24/7. If I was going to kill myself, I had a fucking needle in me. I could have done it with that.
There literally was a chick, no shit, either a chick or a guy, sitting in a chair across the hall looking at Jerry the whole time.
Yeah.
I would have had to talk with them.
And the girl that was out there, I talked to her. She couldn't look at her phone. She couldn't read a book. She couldn't do nothing. All she could do was literally sit there with her clipboard and just stare at Jerry.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
So Sunday morning, finally, they transfer me to the mental hospital facility. And when they transfer serial killers and have the chains around their waist so that they can handcuff their wrists down by their side? That's what they did to me, and I had to ride in the back of a cop car.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah, I was not taken out of the handcuffs and chains until I got admitted into the mental facility. So
what the fuck?
Then I just had to sit in a room for like an hour until the psychiatrist could see me, and then I had to spend like 45 minutes convincing him I wasn't suicidal, and it was just I didn't know I was diabetic and my sugar was all high, and that was what was fucking me up and making me crazy. And so he finally like let me go, but he kept like assuming I was there to get like benzos and Xanax and shit, and I was like, I literally have fucking 28 pills at my house. I don't need you
Did you read the notes?
Yeah, I don't need you to give me Xanax. I've got that. And like, if I was going for drugs, there's much cheaper ways to get drugs than go to a hospital.
Yeah. Right.
So he finally agreed to let me go, but he was like, if you mess up, we're both in big trouble. And I'm like, dude, if I mess up, I'm dead. So it'll be all right. So he ripped up my court order and let me go Sunday. And then I stayed off. I was not to be on my phone for like 2-3 days, so I wasn't really on Facebook or anything. And since then, I've been just trying to get used to this diet. I've got to go back to my old job because I can't perform at my new great job that I had while I'm trying to fix all this. And depending on the side effects of the medicine I'm on that make me my IBS worse than it already is. If it doesn't calm down, I may never get to go back to that great job I had. I might have to like continue to work where I used to work until I can find something better I can do that will accommodate my IBS. So yeah, my life's been my October fucking sucked. But we're back. We're here, and we're here at the fucking Horror Coliseum. And happy 4 years to Kill the Cast.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
I'm super stoked.
Yeah, 4 years ago, today that we're recording this Sunday, we made the page for Kill the Cast, and like in this upcoming week, Jay and I recorded the first episode and put it out. So November is our anniversary, so happy 4 years to us. I don't know if we're going to do an anniversary show just because we've got so much to do and catch up on that I don't know if we're going to have fucking time. So I'm considering Friday the 13th Part 5 versus The Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, our anniversary show. So there you
Hey,
go.
I feel special being a guest.
Yeah, there you go. So with that being said, we are going to get into this. We continue our Freddy vs. Jason with the Part 5s. And as always, I'm going to go in an order, and then when we get to Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm going to flip that order just because I can. So we are going to go... you know what? I'm going to let the guest go first. Last show, I made a bunch of jokes about not letting the guest go first. But this time, I'm actually going to do it. So, Scott, open us up with Friday the 13th Part 5. What did you rate story?
With the story, I ended up rating that a 7 out of 10. Because this is a continuation of Tommy Jarvis's storyline, which is just great. And just the new location and like the whole him still seeing Jason, but is he really there or not? That whole storyline that made it worth a 7 out of 10 for me.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave it an 8. I mean, and pretty much for the same reasons. I liked how they brought Tommy back. I like the direction they went with it. I like the fact that we're out of Camp Crystal Lake for a change. I liked all of those things. Believe it or not, I actually like the fact that, I didn't when I was younger, but I do now. I like the fact that it was a different Jason. And, I think about it and I wonder to myself where it would have went had we not zombie Jasoned in Part 6.
That's true. Jay.
I gave it a 7. Same things. I fucking love Tommy Jarvis. I've always liked Tommy Jarvis. And this is the second movie that continues his story. So, yeah, 7.
All right. I gave it an 8. I enjoy the twist, and I enjoy the story it brings. I like the idea of someone being ashamed of their son and keeping him a secret all these years, but still keeping tabs on him. And then when his son gets brutally murdered, he breaks and he dresses up as Jason Voorhees and goes and kills people. It's a very interesting thing to look at. Someone who we went from Pamela Voorhees, who loved her son so much, and her son died in an accident. She took revenge, to someone who was basically ashamed of their son, but always kept tabs on them. And we don't know why. We don't know why he did that. If he was like, oh no, I'm an alcoholic and a shitty father, I'm just not going to do it, or what the reason was. Maybe he just couldn't deal with his son, who obviously has a slow mental process. And for him to, have his son killed and he has to take his son out, and then having to realize, like, I wasted all this time not being with my son to going crazy, and then taking up the mantle of fucking Pamela Voorhees' son, and that mother-son thing, and now doing the father-son thing, and killing people in the name of Jason. I think that's an interesting twist, and I think it works well with the theme of Pamela and Jason. And it's also fun when you rewatch this and you know that it's Roy, and you just see all these things that clue you in that it's Roy the whole time that you would never pick up if you didn't know it was Roy.
Right.
Yeah, like the look on his face, the mad as fuck look on his face right after he sees his son all cut up.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really clear after that.
The camera lingers on him too, giving you that hint that, there's something about this guy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now we move on to character development. And we go back to you, Scott. What you got?
All right, for character development, I ended up going with a 6 out of 10 because honestly, like, the only true character development I really see is Tommy Jarvis again, and a little from Reggie the Reckless. But other than that, the other characters, like, they brought in a lot of characters that were just a lot of throwaways for the body count, and the other ones just didn't have a lot of screen time. So that's kind of why I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Fair enough. Kenneth?
I gave it an 8. And I kind of disagree, because I feel like the character development for a lot of the characters is in their personalities. Like, you got the kid who tries to confess his love to the one girl, but at the same time he's a horn dog, that kind of stutters just a little bit. You got him, and you can tell his personality right off the bat just by the way he is. His development is in himself. The development is in the kid that gets hiked up, the one that hacks him up. You can tell just by their personalities what kind of people they are, and I actually like that. And the reason why I think it is a little bit more useful in this movie versus the other movies where you've just got, your typical jock, and then you got your typical this and your typical that for a slasher movie. It's different in this one because they've all got, mental issues. And so it goes into a deeper realm in this versus the other movies. And that was the reason why I kind of went that direction with it. And then, you got this little badass Reggie the Reckless, and then you got his brother Demon, and you can kind of tell what kind of person he is, and then the grandfather, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a lot more there than just what's on the surface. And I actually appreciated that. So I gave it an 8.
All right, Jay.
I also gave it an 8. I'm kind of in the middle of you guys, even though it's the same score as Kenneth. I feel like the most character development actually came from Roy, right? That's the guy that turned himself into Jason.
Yes.
So terrible with names.
Yep.
And Tommy. I love Tommy's. We get to see somebody living with basically PTSD. I don't even know if we knew what it was back then, but basically he's living with PTSD, and he's dealing with a situation that mirrors the one he just went through that caused his trauma in the first place. And then, of course, all the stuff with Roy finding out about his kid and seeing him go from someone who just wants to help all these people to like, fuck it, they're all got to die. And then the little stuff in between, like Kenneth mentioned, is good. But I do think that most of those people were there just for the body count. But overall, I really love what they did with the main antagonist and protagonist.
All right, so I'm actually at a 6 because I think it gives the image of being deeper than what's on the surface, but it never actually goes under the surface. You don't know why any of these characters are actually in here. They never do any backstory development. Yes, you do know their personalities. So, and most of my points go into that. You know each of their personalities, and you know them well off that, but you don't know why they're in there. I feel they missed the mark on every single character for everything. I don't, like you just said, Tommy reliving the situation. He doesn't relive the situation until the very end of the movie when he actually sees Roy as Jason. But before then, he doesn't know anyone's dead. Besides, Joey dying. Like, other than that...
No, okay, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right.
He knows nothing about what any of that's going on. I feel that they could have went a little bit... deeper on all of these, almost if they would have had like a Nightmare on Elm Street 3 round table, no bullshit in this room kind of thing, just to give a little bit more development to each character. Something that Nightmare on Elm Street 3 did kind of a good job on, that they could have done here that to me they did not do. I don't think they developed any character whatsoever. They spend more time focusing on random kills that don't matter, and they kind of skip over the character development to me.
Right.
So I don't... I'm at a 6 on that one, and it's mostly for the character and not for the development. Kenneth, do you have anything to say back to that? Do you feel like I
actually had a question.
Okay.
And then maybe I can flow into saying something back, but I actually had a question. And I'm sorry, I was kind of, you know how I've always got the movie going, so I was looking at something while you were talking about that and thinking about all of it at one time.
Were you looking at titties? Don't
No,
lie to me.
actually, I was
Never
looking at that,
Voorhees' titties.
I was looking at that scene at the beginning where Tommy, as a kid, is seeing Jason come up out of the grave. But the question that I have is, where you were talking about random kills. All right, I've thought about this a lot while I was watching this movie, and I'm going back and forth, and maybe y'all can help me with this. I could be right, could be wrong, I don't know. But does it feel like that each one of these kills is somewhat linked to some kind of aggravation with Roy or not? Because if you think about it, okay, the two kids that get killed at the where the car broke down,
Yeah, the
greaser looking kids.
Yeah.
All right, they talk shit about the kids at the mental hospital at the mental place. Okay, and then it just happens that Roy's there, so that's the reason why I'm kind of back and forth about this. The same thing with the mean old bitch that lives next door, Dam, and her son. They're constantly talking shit about him. You know what I'm saying? And then Demon makes a crack at some point in time about him. So everybody that gets killed with that doesn't have a direct link of being there, like the dude that runs the place and all that shit, each one of them makes some kind of fucking snide remark towards Pinehurst itself.
So,
Well, there's only one that really didn't, and that was that stranger that came up to Ethel's house and was working for food. But I think he was just more a victim of circumstance and was just
He was in the way.
ended up there. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there watching them two fuck. So
here's my theory on that. I think that was Roy trying to throw the scent off of him. If he only killed people at Pinehurst, it would be easier to the cops to go, okay, the only people dying are right here. If he kills other people randomly, it throws off the scent. So I think Roy's being smart, and it's not him killing them because they talk shit. He happened to be walking by and heard the greasers talking shit. I think he was out just, hunting, so to speak, to find random kills, just like he did with the driver of the bus that dropped off Tommy and his girlfriend. And I think those are to throw off.
So it just kind of happens. So like I asked, it just kind of happens to be happenstance that, you know what I'm saying? They all talk shit, but he's just kind of covering his tracks.
Yeah, it's just Roy being smart as fuck.
I got you. That's cool.
Because you got to think, he doesn't kill his paramedic buddy until the very end of the movie when he actually goes after the Pinehurst people. Because if he would have killed him in the beginning, because he talked shit, calling them a bunch of pussies, it would have directly linked to him. So he waited until he went after his actual revenge before he did it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the reason why why it was mainly a question, because I wanted to get another opinion on it and see what y'all thought. And then the other thing that I was going to go back into about the characters and stuff like that. I mean, I don't feel like that they were stale. Like for some reason, like the girl that's really into music. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they're stale. I just don't think there's any actual development besides their person. Like, them based off their personalities. So the character is there, but the development is not.
But like I was saying, I mean, it's like the chick that's really into music, man. I feel like that chick is into music because she's masking over something else. And the reason why she's there is because, she's not only trying to get a chance in the real world, but at the same time, she's trying to get past that, but can't get past that. You know what I mean? And so she dive into her music so that way she doesn't have to fucking go into the real world and get pissed off at the same time.
You're actually probably right. But this movie doesn't do anything to present that in the story whatsoever.
Right,
It doesn't brain filling in the gaps.
Right, but that's the reason why I gave it an 8, because that's me.
Also, that song she's dancing to is fucking awesome.
Is that Oingo Boingo?
I have no idea. I love it. It's so 80s.
Because if it is, they also did a song for fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they did.
But I'm with Jay. You can make up whatever you want to make up, just like I made up the Roy killing people to throw off the scent. But the movie doesn't give you any background development. It doesn't tell you what happened. It doesn't even give you any slight hints at why each of them are there. except maybe Vic, because you can be like, obviously some anger problems there, and Joey for just being
Just
slow.
a bit.
But other than that, they give you nothing, and because a lot of these kids seem so normal, like it to me, it feels like they were just like, well, just make sure they're mostly attractive, except for the few losers we need. Otherwise, make them all hot. Even Tommy looks like a goddamn model. He took off his shirt, and I was like,
after fighting off Jason, he was like, well, I'm just gonna get jacked to learn kung fu.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
But yeah, so I feel like they just really missed they did great at giving a personality to each character, but they completely missed the mark on developing them, because even more so because of where they are. So,
yeah, because I feel this just has way too many characters to focus on them all, unless you wanted to like extend the run time of the film.
By the way, it was not Oingo Boingo. The name of the band is Pseudo Echo.
Close enough.
Oh.
Okay, so now we go into pacing and editing. It goes back to you, Scott.
With pacing and editing, I mainly focused when I gave this rating on the pacing, and I gave that an 8 because there is like not much downtime at all before things just start ramping up. This movie was just really fast paced from beginning to end.
I completely agree there. Kenneth?
I gave it a 7. And I mean, because to me, I feel like it fluctuates. I feel like that there's moments, there's areas where it's just kind of like bam, 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 and then it's slow, and then bam, 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 and then slow, like a shitty cassette player.
Okay. Jay?
I gave the pacing an 8. I thought it was good. It was nice to me. It was nice and even the whole way through. Right amount of story when we needed it. Right amount of death when we did. Enough body count to keep you entertained. So I gave it an 8.
I also gave it an 8. I think it's super solid. I think anytime it gets to the point where I'm right about to be like, all right, let's do something, it does something. So for me, this one's, I don't think there's a lot of explanation. This one just gives you the goods often enough that it hides a lot of its downfalls by, hey, here's some titties, hey, here's some kills, hey, here's a joke.
Good old
The best titties in the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
We move on to atmosphere. Scott.
All right, atmosphere. This one I was struggling with. I ended up going with a 7, but I'm honestly not really sure why now that I'm thinking back on it. Because, yeah, there was some, cool, like, kind of dread feeling moments in the film, but other than that, it really wasn't too much. Like, Ethel and Junior kind of made it a little bit lighthearted in the same way. So, yeah, I don't know why I went with that for atmosphere, but I did give it a 7 out of 10.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave it a 7 also. I mean, there were moments, again, there were moments that I thought were really creepy. Like, for some reason, that scene where Demon's in the shitter is always creeped me out. I don't know what it is about it, but it's always got at me. And then there were other ones, you know what I'm saying, that just gave me that creepy vibe, but not so much to where, the whole movie, I felt fucked up at the end of it. So I gave it a 7.
Okay, Jay.
I gave it an 8. I thought it was great. The atmosphere of not really a mental hospital, but basically a psych ward cabin was pretty good. I've been in similar situations, so that felt right. And I felt the parts with Roy as Jason, with the killer, were done really well. And overall, there's really nothing to complain about.
All right. I gave it a 6. I like that the air of mystery is back, but with so many fake outs and so many like just over the top moments, it's kind of like an American Giallo for me. It tries to have that mystery, and there's a lot of crazy shit happening, much like a Giallo, but it has this American air about itself that it's kind of hard for me to explain. But the ways it goes over the top versus the way a Giallo goes over the tops are completely different. And the only way I can describe it is this is the American way. It's literally about to like pull out a gun and eat like in like 17 foot longs just because it can.
America.
17-foot longs.
Yeah. So because of that, it was kind of up and down for me. So I gave it a 6. I don't really have much more to say about it than that because I don't even understand my American Giallo theory here, but it's there, damn it. We move on to scenery and set design. Scott.
All right, with scenery and set design, I ended up giving this an 8 out of 10 because taking it out of Camp Crystal Lake and putting it into a home for like wayward teens or young adults was an interesting and cool setting. And then you also have what I thought was kind of hilarious, the trailer park that had a sign that just said trailer park with no trailers, a van. And then you have, Ethel and Junior's place, and the diner. Like all 4 of those different locations were all pretty cool and unique to the Friday the 13th series.
Fair enough. Kenneth.
I gave it a 7 because I really, really liked it. But at the same time, I was irritated because I wanted to see more of it. I like the fact that we're not in Camp Crystal Lake. I thought that was cool. I just wish we could have explored the area of Pinehurst a little bit more. I wish we could have seen more of it. But other than that, I thought it was cool. So I gave it a 7. It lost us 3 points because I wish we could have saw more.
Okay. Jay.
8. Scenery and set design was 8. It looked fantastic. Everything looked great. I don't really have anything else to say after that.
Okay. I also came in with the classic hand job at a 7. And it gets a 7 because there is a Godzilla versus the Thing poster. And Mark, whatever the fucking doctor's name is, or the guy that runs the place. There's a Godzilla vs. Thing poster, so therefore it gets a 7.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that.
Yep, if you look behind his head, there is a Godzilla vs. the Thing poster. There's also a picture of a walrus, which Toho also made a movie involving a giant walrus monster called Gorath, but I doubt that's a link there. I'm pretty sure it was just a happenstance.
There's also a picture of John Lennon.
There is a picture of John Lennon, but I hate the Beatles, so I didn't care. But I love Godzilla.
A man after my own heart.
Yeah.
8 times the Beatles.
Fuck the Beatles.
I like the Beatles. I don't like John Lennon by himself. He's dead now. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. I was worried he's going to listen to us and be like, oh, what the fuck, Kenneth?
Well, not going on that show.
Yeah, for a way to blow our chances at getting John Lennon. Jesus, why don't you go read Catcher in the Rye, asshole?
I just may do that, fuckface.
Anyway, we go on to acting. Scott, what you got?
All right, for acting, I ended up giving this a 6 out of 10. Nothing really wrong with the acting, but nothing that really stood out either. Probably the best acting performance would have to go to Reggie the Reckless, because he was just great throughout the whole movie. But every other character was okay. Nothing spectacular.
Agreed. Kenneth, go ahead.
Hand job.
Ooh, for those who haven't figured out, the hand job is a 7.
Yeah, classic hand job. Classic. I kind of agree. Reggie the Reckless was great. And it kind of went back and forth with people that I thought that could act fairly decent, like the guy that ran the place, because I've seen him in other shit. And so, there was some acting that was decent, and there was some of it that is, it's pretty much on par for a Friday the 13th film.
Yeah, that's very true. Jay?
Where are we? Acting 8. I gave it an 8. I love Tommy and Reggie and Roy. I thought all of them were pretty spectacular. Everyone else was nothing to complain about, so I didn't really feel like I needed to deduct any more points than that.
Yeah, I'm also throwing in the classic hand job. I gave it a 7 just because it's nothing to blow you away, but it gets the job done. And once again, I enjoy when the acting is right down the middle to where it does not take me out of the story. It's not so good I'm blown away by the performance, and it's not so bad I'm taken out of the movie. And shout out to Demon for just giving the performance of a lifetime when those enchiladas hit. I'm just saying.
Yep.
That was
And
pretty
he
good.
also gave me the song that I use when I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, baby.
Baby.
All right. Now we move on to special effects. Scott, beam us up.
All right. Special effects, I gave an 8. Mainly for all the aftermath gore on all the kills. The effects for that were really well done. And like that's kind of really the only type of effects you get in this film are the kills. There's no other unique thing that really truly stood out. But yeah, especially what was it, the kill done to Deborah Voorhees out in the woods, that was just awesome, with the like when the boyfriend comes back and sees her body, eyes gouged out. That just looked disturbing as all hell. And then the one scene with I can't remember the guy's name, but the one that stutters, you see his body laying in the bunk bed and the lightning flashes and you just see that giant axe wound or a machete wound to the face. That like effect looked really good.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's about it.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave it an 8. I mean, I thought, I kind of agree. I thought, everything after the kill itself looked pretty damn good. I mean, they did it fairly well. So, I gave it an 8. It was nice.
All right, Jay.
So this is where my scores start to get a little lower here. I gave the special effects a 6, mainly because there wasn't anything all that impressive to me. At this point, we're 5 movies into this series, and the slasher genre is in full swing. I expect better from a Friday the 13th movie if we're this many movies into it. And the stuff in this one didn't really compare to everything we saw in the 4th one. So I kind of gave it a 6. Like, there's nothing was bad, per se. It just wasn't anything impressive.
I like the flare to the face.
Yeah,
that effect was cool.
Than the fucking head pop from 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
I'm actually with Jay on a 6. I feel like I probably should have went up to a 7. But while there's some decent stuff here, there's also just some really bad stuff. The dancer girl, her kill, it 100% looks like a knife going into a pillow. It is bad. While there's a lot of good after makeup shots, those are really easy to do at this point in the game. So there's a lot of like just missed opportunities, and there's a part of me that also goes, maybe that's not my rating would be lower if I could see what the unrated version would have looked like, because Kenneth and I were talking about which movie got fucked by the MPAA more, this one or Part 7. So Kenneth, I looked it up. This one, it was demanded that 16 scenes featuring sex or graphic violence be edited in order to merit the R rating, and it took 9 trips to the MPAA before it could finally get an R rating.
Damn.
Yeah. And one of those, by the way, just pissed all y'all off. The Deborah Voorhees sex scene was 3 minutes long.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think wasn't there supposed to be like full penetration or something like that the director wanted? Something crazy like that?
Well, he wasn't. There was probably no full penetration. He does have a background in making sex films, but they wouldn't have let him do that anyway. Not in 1980. Right. It's not fucking Caligula. But I'm sure it was a lot more.
Still need to watch that.
Titty flop. Oh, Caligula is awesome.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot and everyone knows about the infamous scene of the dancer chick was supposed to get a machete to the crotch. Ethel's kill.
So it's the editing that I have to blame for my 6 on the special effects.
Yes, actually, they edited down a lot of it. Like, Ethel's kill was a lot more vicious. Like, that machete went deep into her face.
I wonder if the fucking footage is lost.
At this point, I'd believe it just like Part 7, just because with as many releases as they put out, you're telling me that it had, like, if they had it, they wouldn't have released it by now? I feel like they would have.
Right, because, yeah, I think you can find, like, the images of some of these kills online, but, yeah, you cannot find, like, any of the actual footage.
Yeah. But we never know, just like we're hoping for the footage from Event Horizon to show up one day. We continue to hope for the footage from Friday the 13th Part 5 and 7. and every other movie the MPA fucked over the years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was at a 6 also, just because a lot of great afterkill shots, which I really do enjoy. But at this point in the game, I would have liked to, like, if I'm talking special effects, I want to see it in motion. I want to see it in action. And there's a part of that that's not their fault, and that's why I should raise it to a 7. But, you know, on this show, we're not allowed to change our scores once we've started, so I can't. So I'm sticking with a 6. Next, we move on to the actual kills and the gore we get in the movie. Scott, go ahead.
All right, for this one, the score is mainly carried by the unique kills, which I gave a 7 out of 10, because, yeah, like, the on-screen, like, the on-screen kills, there are very few. A lot of them either are cut away, like, right before any actual gore is shown, but the way these kills are done are pretty unique for the Friday the 13th franchise. Different weapons being used, because, Jason Roy loves to use different weapons to dispatch his victims, like the burning nod with the giant shears, the pole and the outhouse to demon, the leather strap around the guy's head and tree and twisting it till it's crushed. There's some pretty interesting ways of dispatching the victims. It's just, the gore was left out and just shown as like an aftermath gore, which that's why I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Gotcha. Kenneth.
I gave the kills an 8, and the reason why I did is because, I hated the fact that we didn't get to see them on screen. But at the same time, I like the inventiveness of them. Like that scene with the leather strap around that dude's face, man. I mean, that was just fucking brutal.
That's my favorite Jason crushing a head kill.
Yeah, dude, that's just fucking, that's just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that, I like the fact of Junior riding around on his bike and getting his head lopped off,
while he's screaming the whole time.
Yeah, that shit was fucking great. So the kills themselves I thought were amusing and interesting, and I hated the fact that they got fucking lightened up and dumbed down so much, man. I mean, because I think it would have been cool to see that chick get fucked by the machete. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you can always watch Terrifier.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you can.
And so, yeah, I mean, for the inventiveness of them, the gore, it sucks. Again, it sucks. But I like the inventiveness of some of the kills that were in it. So, I gave it an 8.
All right, Jay?
I gave it a 6, much for the same reasons that I gave the special effects a 6. A lot of the kills are back to being off-screen. There are a couple of inventive ones, like we've all mentioned the strap, which I really enjoyed. But a lot of it is back to like where this movie mirrors the first in a lot of ways, including keeping the killer hidden until the end and off-screen kills, and a lot of them just involving a knife. So again, after 4 kind of sets the bar for Friday the 13th, and 5 in this department anyway kind of lets me down. And so that's why I gave him a 6.
Gotcha. All right, I'm at a 7. Though, once again, I wish I would have done an 8. The MPA really raped this movie on kills, so there's a lot of off-screen kills. But there's also some real... I love the flare kill. I love the shears to the eyes. I love the skull crushing with the belt. But there are a lot of just basic kills. But one of my favorite kills is actually the chick who gets the axe to her stomach. I just really like that kill. It's just something about it. Just real. Like her just laying there with an axe sticking out of her. I don't know what it is, but there's a feeling to that. There's something magical about Jason with an axe, because he doesn't get to use an axe too often. So it was nice to see it, even if it is fake Jason. I'm taking it. I'm taking my win on that.
Right.
But like I said, so there's some, but unfortunately there are a lot of off the screen kills. So while there are a lot of good imaginative kills, that's balanced out by how many kills are just standard stabbings and off screen, or just a standard throat slit at this point. So I kind of wished for a little bit it wasn't balanced out very well for me. So next we move on to Monster/Killer. What do you got, Scott?
I gave this a 7 out of 10, mainly for the fact that Roy is pretty unique for Friday the 13th, because he's extremely agile and likes to duck and dodge and jump out of the way when they're in the final chase scene, and the way just his inventive kills, and even once again when we're getting hints that it's not Jason, is when he's actually getting wounded and he's actually holding his gut and not actually pretending to be Jason when he gets stabbed in the stomach, and he's holding each wound, and just the way he carries himself as Jason without actually being Jason.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard to pretend you're Jason when you get, a chainsaw to the shoulder.
Yeah, or hit by a freaking bulldozer.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate when I get hit by a bulldozer.
Does that happen a lot to you? Is that like a
Yes,
Washington thing?
it's like a weekly thing, man. I'm like, well, I'll just cross the. Oh god!
Wow, Jesus. Anyway, Kenneth.
I gave him an 8. I like Roy Jason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like the fact that he was still menacing. He had that anger about him. He had that inventiveness about him. But at the same time, the just like y'all said, the vulnerability. And on top of that, him taking the vulnerability and combining that with perseverance. Because that was a normal, everyday human just with a grudge on his shoulder. And he took, like you guys said, the bulldozer to the belly, the chainsaw to the shoulder, and he just fucking kept going. So if I can't give Joy anything else, I have to give him that perseverance. So I gave him an 8.
All right, Jay.
I gave him a 6. After our conversation on the other categories and discussing his character a little bit more, I feel like he should at least have had a 7. Initial viewing, I didn't like that he was off, that it was back to part 1 where we only see the hands and the feet for a long time. I don't mind that he's not like Jason. I actually like that twist, but I just wish we got to see more of him as Jason. So that was why I initially gave it such a low score. But after talking about it and discussing his character more, if I had to redo it, it'd be a 7 at least.
All right, fair enough. I also gave it an 8. I love how when we actually do see him as Jason, how they focus on his eyes. You get it's something so different from how you normally see Jason. I absolutely love it, and shout out to Duncan Milishover at Podcast on the Stairs. # Roy is my boy. I love Roy. He is one of my all-time favorites. So of course he gets an 8 from me, because anyone willing to take that much punishment for their revenge deserves an applause. So next we move on to Hero. Scott, go ahead.
All right, for Hero, this one I was a bit conflicted. I was going back between a 6 and a 7, but I ended up with a 7 just because in this one, I almost think Reggie, the Reckless, and Pam are the heroes, because Tommy really does not do shit except for show up and get taken out of the picture right away until the very end. But it's just the way Reggie gets in the bulldozer and fucking nails Roy to save Pam, and Pam using the chainsaw to fend him off. That right there gives that a 7 out of 10 for me, just the combined efforts of two heroes.
Yeah. All right, Kenneth?
I gave Reggie and Pam a 9. I mean, because I thought they
nice.
were great. I did. I thought they were great. I mean, Reggie was awesome anyway, and I mean, he stepped up to the plate, to take care of his girlfriend, and he did it. And then Pam busting out with that chainsaw. I mean, I thought they were awesome as the dynamic duo. I thought they were great. So I had to give them a 9 because I thought they did really, really well. And I agree. Tommy really didn't do shit at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he walks up, takes away the focus, gets slashed across the chest, and then climbs up a ladder, and then knocks him off. That was pretty much about it.
Yep. Jay?
I gave it a 7. I agree with you guys about Reggie and Pam. I thought they did great. I actually also felt that they were probably some of the most realistic final people. I guess we can't really say final girls for this one. Final people in the way that they reacted. Like Pam was still scared, as she should be when someone's trying to kill you, but she also didn't make really any stupid choices and fought back when it was time to fight back. However, Tommy being like pretty much a badass the entire time, like anytime anybody got in his face, he like fucked him up, and then just absolutely freezing completely after calling Jason to him. Like the first time you watch this, you see in Tommy, he like gets him like, all right, shit's about to go down, and he's like, Jason. Then he just like freezes up and lets him attack him. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Where's all your ninja skills? And so the overall category kind of loses points because of Tommy's weird change of attitude at the end. But Pam and Reggie were awesome.
Yeah, Tommy is the worst American Ninja movie. I'm glad you didn't make me watch the first one, because I don't think I'd want to see Tommy as the American Ninja.
I don't think that's Michael Dudikoff.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so hero for me, I gave a 6, because I am tired of... Have a clear fucking hero. If Tommy's your main character, make him your main character. You could literally take Tommy out of this movie and it would not affect the movie at all.
Right.
So he's fucking out as a hero, even though he's supposed to be the hero. He's supposed to be the main character. Then you go to Pam and Reggie, and they run the show. Fucking the movie should have just been focused on Reggie the Reckless, and I would have gave it a higher score. But the splitting up of who is my protagonist, who is my main character, who is my hero, and this whole muddling up of it, I don't like at all. This is actually my biggest problem with this movie, is not being clear who your hero is supposed to be. Friday the 13th makes it clear who the hero is supposed to be in like every single fucking movie. And this one, they just could not do that. And it really does bother me. So it only got a 6 because at least Reggie and Pam, saved the day. So next we move on to score and soundtrack. Go ahead, Scott.
All right. For this, I ended up going with an 8 out of 10. It's got a unique, it's kind of, still the same old Friday the 13th style song or soundtrack, but had some unique twist to it. And for a while there, I was going with a 7, and then the last scene hit, and instead of the whole ki ma, it was Tommy, which I thought that was kind of a unique little twist. When
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that was like the kind of like hint, like, oh, Tommy's going crazy, so it switches the song to saying his name instead, which I thought that was really cool.
See there, Jerry? I told you there was a difference in that somewhere.
No, but that's only at the end of the movie, not at the beginning.
Okay, because I knew I heard that difference somewhere. I just couldn't remember. But yeah. I knew it was in there. I just couldn't. I was just like, there's, not like when I was talking to you about it. I knew it was there somewhere. So if I said it was at the beginning when I was talking to you about it, then I fucked up. But I knew there was some kind of difference somewhere.
I will not accept any fuck ups from you. You will be perfect at all times.
My name isn't Jesus.
Well, yeah, he's got a lot of holes in his story too, and
and his hands and his feet.
Oh, that was great.
So anyway, is that it from you, Scott?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave it a 7. I mean, it was Friday the 13th score. You know what I'm saying? There was some things, little differences here and there, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that ending part of it, like what he was talking about, was really cool. But other than that, I mean, it was Friday the 13th.
True, Jay.
I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8 for that awesome fucking song that the chick was dancing to right before she gets it. I fucking love that song. It's so damn catchy. I need to put it on my phone now. Maybe I'll make it my ringtone. I don't know, but I really like that song.
There you go.
Other than that, it was pretty standard, but that song sticks in my head. So it really upped the score since we combined both the score and the soundtrack.
Yeah, I dropped it from an 8 to a 7. I originally had this as an 8, but I took it down just because the score really does seem all over the place. Like, there's just certain times where the music just doesn't line up with what's going on. And it just seems like, even when you listen to the opening Friday the 13th song, it seems like it's all over the place. It kind of just changes randomly. It's just a little off from what I'm used to from a Friday the 13th movie, and it didn't quite do it in the way that made it better, like the Funky Friday the 13th Part 3. It just was a little too crazy. I think Hanfordini might have been on coke when he did this soundtrack.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So next we move into Scare Factor. Go ahead, Scott.
All right, with the scare factor, I ended up going with a 6 out of 10. Mainly because this one's not really scary to me, though it like there is like the certain scenes like I talked about when the girl gets in bed and finds the one guy's body just like sitting there right when you see that lightning flash, you see him. That was kind of creepy. And some of the night shots with Roy just stalking and killing were kind of creepy, but other than that, a lot of it was done during the daytime, so it really didn't have that scare factor to it for me. So I ended up just going with a 6 out of 10.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave it a 7. I mean, there were elements that were scary. You know, I brought up some when we were talking about the atmosphere, but other than that, I mean, you know, it wasn't not scary, but it wasn't, you know, I'm gonna have nightmares and pee myself and have PTSD and all that other stuff. So it was, I just gave it a 7, you know, and I was being kind of generous.
Fair enough, Jay.
I gave it a 7. Pretty much same things. We've discussed at length how this category is one of the hardest for me. But I felt like the creepiness of Roy as Jason was good, and the setups for when he kills people was good, despite any of the other flaws that I've mentioned already. I thought at least that part was decent enough. So 7.
Yeah. So I gave it a 6. I gave it a 6 because even when I put myself in the shoes of some of these people, it's hard to get terrified because everything happens so fast. There's no suspense. There's no real fear for a lot of these people. They just die so quickly that no one really has fear until you get to the Pam and Reggie running. Other than that, there's really not that much for it to happen, and plus all the fake outs early in the movie put you on your guard pretty early on. It happens a little too early, so I think that kind of really hurts the scare factor. So I could only give it a 6. Next, we go into entertainment. Go ahead, Scott.
All right, entertainment. I gave this a 9 out of 10. This is my third favorite Friday the 13th after Final Chapter and Part 2. I just love this movie, and I am completely entertained from beginning to end. I really don't have much else to say besides that, because, yeah, it's just a lot of fun to watch.
Do we have the same top 3? Is your top 3 4, 2, 5?
Yes, it is.
So is mine. 4, 2, 5 is my top 3.
That's because we have good taste.
That's true. See, everyone needs to get like me and Scott.
4, 7, 10.
No one gives a shit about your opinion, Jay. Shut up.
Aw, 4 years this whole time.
Yeah, the whole time it was a lie. Let me see you out to your car. That's an old joke on the show.
Let me show you the roomy back seat.
Kenneth.
I gave entertainment an 8. I mean, it's entertaining. It really is. I mean, you know, it may not be scary or whatever, but it's one of those that, again, if it comes on the TV, I'm so down to watch it. And I'll probably, after doing this show and talking to Jerry about this movie and stuff like that, this would be one of those that I would watch on my own if it didn't come out on TV, just because it's entertaining and it's got the best hits in the series.
That it does.
100%.
It does. God, fucking Deborah Boy, he's so fucking hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank God that other chick refused to do nudity.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still hot today, too.
Yeah, she is. She's still really good looking.
Deborah, let me see them titties.
He means that with all due respect.
Yeah, well, you're a great actress and I respect your craft. Now let me see them titties.
Right?
Alrighty then. Jay, how do you feel about the entertainment in this movie?
Titties, 10. No. Entertainment was an 8. Maybe we should add titties as a category.
Just for this movie.
You know, I'm working on the new categories that'll happen after we finish the Friday the 13th
You need to
categories.
throw nudity in there.
And I thought about putting a bonus category where you just get to, like, pick something to give a rating to.
Oh, that's good.
Of your own personal thing. Because I was going to do nudity, and then I was like, no, let me not do that, because that's technically not needed in a horror movie, unless it's a slasher. So
fuck what you say.
So that might happen with the changing of the
bonus category. I like that. 'Cause then I can get really funny with it if it's I like that. Okay, anyway, I gave Entertainment an 8. Despite anything that I've said negatively towards it, the movie is still very entertaining. I will always be entertained by Jason killing people for an hour and a half. It takes a lot for me to not be entertained by that. And even though this wasn't Jason, technically, it was still very entertaining. The characters, the way they interact with each other, the little quips, it's all very entertaining through and through.
All right, so I gave it a 9. To me, this is one of the most entertaining in the franchise. What it lacks in a good, deep, developing story, like 4, or the creepiness of 2, it makes up for with, like, a kill every fucking, I don't know, 6 minutes or something. Someone fucking dies, or there's titties, or there's someone cracking a joke. Reggie the Reckless is great the entire time. You get White Boy Kung Fu. You get Punk Rock Demon. He's fucking fantastic. It's just there's so much to just sit back and enjoy in this movie that it's hard for me to not be entertained. So it's a 9 for me in entertainment. This might be the most entertaining of the franchise for me.
I could agree with that.
So next we move into rewatchability. Scott, go ahead.
All right, rewatchability. I also gave a 9 out of 10 because I can watch this. Like Kenneth said earlier, like if it's on the TV, I would watch it. Like I would stop the channel and watch right then and there. But almost I watch my Friday the 13th like most people on Friday the 13th or during the summer, and this is almost always the one I go to first. I just love everything about this film that makes it so rewatchable with the characters and the kills and just like the way it's just done, and it's so fast paced. I can sit down and it's just like kind of a shut your brain off of an enjoy movie.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave it an 8 also because of pretty much the same reasons as the entertainment factor. I mean, even though it's not my go-to Friday the 13th movie, because that will always be part 7, it's still really entertaining. I enjoy watching it, and I'll definitely end up rewatching it again. So it was a good one.
All right, Jay?
I gave it a 7. It's, it's not bad. It's definitely not my most hated. It's not even in the bottom there. So... yeah, I don't really know how else to explain this. I would rewatch it a 7 out of 10.
All right, I gave it a 9. I think this is the one I rewatched the most as a kid. I just absolutely love watching this movie. It's a joy. And this is why when I'm talking about changing categories, one of the things I'm doing is I'm combining entertainment and rewatchability. Just like I'm going to combine kills, gore, and special effects. Just because it seems that when we talk about these categories, some of them are just too linked, so I kind of want to combine them and change some stuff around and add some stuff. But I kind of want to wait until we're out of the Nightmare vs. Friday series. Unless you as an audience don't care, then maybe I'll change it up. You have to let me know what you want on that one. But I gave it a 9. So let's go into our last category, pop culture. Scott, go ahead.
All right, so for pop culture, I ended up giving this one a 5 out of 10. This one, heck, I could have probably went lower with this one because no one, like unless we're Friday fanboys or just fans of horror films in general, will remember Roy. They remember Jason. And the mask that he wears with the blue markings on it, I don't believe, like if you showed that, people would just say, oh, that's Jason. No one really, like I say, no one really remembers Roy unless you're a huge fan like us.
I think this is the first time, Scott, that you and I are so far off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't wait to go to mine. Kenneth.
I gave it a 10.
There we go. That's what I'm
And the
talking
reason why I gave it a 10 is because everybody knows this movie. And they know
Everyone
it because...
knows fake Jason.
Yep, it's because everybody knows it for that very reason. Everybody knows it because either you hate it, you love it, you don't like it, most people hate it, and it's always because it's not really Jason. Everybody knows that there's one that exists in the series where it's not really Jason, and that's the one that gets talked about and debated the most next to Jason Goes to Hell.
Yep. Jay.
Interesting.
I gave Pop Culture an 8. I think the blue mask is actually pretty recognizable as the one related to the guy who isn't Jason, as much as his original mask. I mean, there's basically two main masks, and then we get the the Jason Goes to Hell, big head, and all that other bullshit. But out of the main series, those are the two masks that people know, and one of them is related to the movie where it was someone pretending to be Jason, which is also pretty recognizable. I mean, when I judge this category, I kind of try and keep it within the horror community in general, as well as general population. But I think I'm pretty accurate. Also, Jerry, I do have to say that I did my math wrong, and this is 110, not 102.
Oh, okay. Let me fix that real quick. Damn it.
Sorry. I was just looking at it and then looking at the numbers. Like, that doesn't seem right.
It's okay. As for me, I gave it a 9. Because whether you're a fan of Friday the 13th, a horror fan, a Jason fan, a fan of movies, or just random Joe Blow down the street, everyone seems to remember there being a fake Jason. It's like the Halloween movie that didn't have Michael Myers in it, you know? It's that movie. It's much bigger than just like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, where everyone knows that is the gay nightmare, but only the fan base knows that. But in the Friday series, everyone knows fake Jason. Whether you're a horror fan or you're a guy who shops at Walmart at 2 a.m. for Mountain Dew, you know about fake Jason. And so for that, I had to give it a 9 because it is one of the standouts of the series. Because to me, it's Kenneth brought up, it being the most debated, much like Jason Goes to Hell. And in Jason Goes to Hell, I don't think many people outside of the horror community remember or give a shit about that movie. But a lot of them will remember the time there was a fake Jason. So that is one that I absolutely think is super high on the pop culture list.
Yeah, because I can see you guys' arguments on that. Because I'm just going by some of the people I know. Like I had 2 people watching it with me last night when I was taking the notes, and neither of them even realized that there was a fake Jason. And that kind of gave me my reasoning for part of my score.
And that's understandable. But the whole good thing about Horror Coliseum is hearing something that may change your mind or may think of something different. And I'm glad that you could come on the show, realize how wrong you are, and learn from us. I'm so glad that could happen.
Hey, I gotta be the bigger man and admit when I'm wrong.
All right. So with that, the scores for Friday are Jerry 109, Kenneth 117, Jay 110, and Scott 109. So Scott and I come in the lowest with 109. Somehow Jay beat us.
For your favorite movie.
I don't know. I think you're
crazy.
wrong because I gave 3 fucking 9s.
Well, I can send you more scores, and on the break you could do the math. But
I'm not doing your fucking math.
Well, we should know
math. And then Kenneth came in the highest with 117. So Friday the 13th coming in pretty strong there.
This next one's gonna be good.
Topping in 100s. So we'll see what happens. But you know what that means. It is time to get into A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. All right, so I guess I get to kick this off. Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child story. I gave it a fucking 4. It rehashes the outside dream world from 3 and 4, but makes it way more basic. God, this story is fucking dumb and boring and uninteresting. Freddy is now able to travel into her dreams because she was locked away in her dreams, but now that she's pregnant, her fucking clump of cells, because they're not big enough to even be a fucking embryo that can fucking dream, can somehow fucking dream. I guess fucking, if I had a tumor, I could call it Belial from Basket Case. And it can now dream, so Freddy comes back from that, and so we're gonna rehash the nun story from fucking part 3, and continue that, which, at least that went somewhere this time. And at least Freddy coming back didn't come back from dog piss. But it was still just, everything was so fucking stupid. And why did Alice lose all of her dream powers? She literally, like, couldn't kick ass anymore. She couldn't fucking do anything. She didn't do it. No one did anything in this goddamn movie. Jesus Christ. Yeah. But the story just rehashes with a new twist, and the twist is fucking dumb. At least if they would have, like, made Alice actually pregnant, like, it would have added, you know, more to it, because it would have been like, oh shit, she's having to do all this shit with a baby bump. But no, they couldn't do that. It is a clump of fucking stuff. So she could still get a goddamn abortion at this point.
Wait, let me add, what do you mean, like, actually pregnant? Like, the character? Because the character was pregnant.
Yeah,
he's talking
she's
about
pregnant,
showing.
But she literally didn't even know she was pregnant. She hasn't even missed a period yet. Okay? She doesn't fucking know. But all of a sudden, but the fucking semen that fucking Dan has, apparently
he is a healthy young boy.
Yeah, that healthy young fucking boy with her sex scene opening in fucking Smurf vision. God
yeah, that was so freaking weird.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then she had to use a stunt double for her fucking nude scenes, so fuck that shit. Anyway, okay, now I'm just getting out of control. Jake, go ahead, story.
So I kind of agree with you. It was stupid, but it was stupid in the way that was entertaining. I give the story a 7. I don't know. I liked learning more about his mom and whatnot, but I don't really know if I can follow your rant there. I don't have a rant full of positives like that. I just wasn't as bothered by the stupidity of it. I like to view these, especially these movies, when we're, you know, fucking 5 movies into a slasher series. I like to view them with a large amount of suspension of disbelief and don't expect them to be scientifically accurate. The movie tells me that this baby can dream, regardless of how far along she is. I accept that as the truth within the movie. So it was stupid. I 100% agree with that. I just found it way more entertaining than you did. And so I didn't have as much of a problem as you did with it.
All right, Scott.
All right, Jerry, I'm right there with you. Well, not right there with you. I actually hated this story. This is the worst in the franchise for me. No. I ended up giving this a 2 out of 10. This one was just so unbearable. Like, every single plot detail in this was just so dumb. I felt stupid after watching it. Like, I swear I lost brain cells. I can't even think of things to say because you pretty much took them all when you were going on your rant, but
it's like if Full Moon made a fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Don't fucking goddamn do that to Full Moon, dude.
Oh shit.
I had to mute because I laughed so hard I started coughing. Oh, fuck. I've had a cough since I got out of that. I developed a cough in the hospital and I still can't fucking shake it. Wow. Okay, Kenneth.
I gave it a 4, and the only reason why I got a 4 was because of the extension on the Amanda Kruger shit. That was it.
Same here.
The rest of it was fucking dumb. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the comment I made a little while ago. At this point, it had to have been the tadpole that was swimming up inside of her that was dreaming, because there is no fucking way that at this point the child could be having dreams. That was number one.
Semen can't dream, Kenneth. CNN
I
does
know
not
that's
have that
what I'm saying.
power.
That just makes it worse. And then, damn, I just felt like this one was the people that wrote this and the dude that was directing it. I feel like that he knew he was just riding the wave of fucking 3 and 4, and he was just like, "Oh, we're just gonna put some dumb shit to fucking together and see if we can fucking make a buck."
Well,
Because it was fucking stupid.
I will say this: multiple people had their hands on the story in this. In fact, 2 different people take credit for the whole pregnancy idea.
Good lord!
And not only that, so this film was actually shot in 4 weeks and then edited in 4 weeks. That is insane turnaround for the movie looks way better than being filmed in 4 weeks. I'll give them that. But
Yeah.
that's some explanation to why the story is so fucking dumb. Character development. I gave it a 3 because what fucking development? See, I barely know one thing about each fucking character, and in a movie where people are supposed to die based on their personalities, they literally went with the weakest 3 things for what little fucking deaths there actually are in this fucking movie. And then, what do we fucking learn new about Alice? Literally fucking nothing. The only person who has development in this whole fucking movie is between movies, and that's Alice's dad. Congratulations to him. Here's a fucking golf clap for cleaning up your act and not being a fucking alcoholic and being a good dad. At least your son dying did something good for you. But other than that, no one had any fucking development. I didn't learn anything more about Alice. I didn't learn anything more about Dan. I didn't learn anything about any of them. And the fucking only character I even liked was Yvonne, because she was fucking feisty and I thought she was hot. So, 3 points to Yvonne. Jay.
I actually agree with you for the most part. I gave it a 5. So, pretty bad. There is no real character development. The most of the development comes from actually learning Freddy Krueger's backstory and learning about Amanda Krueger a little bit more in depth. But you are correct. There is no development.
You're
whatsoever.
right. I should have went up at least a point or 2 because they did give development on Amanda Krueger, which in theory gives development on Freddy Krueger. I did forget about that. I'll say that.
Well, you get to learn about him as a little fetus Krueger.
Which that makes no damn sense. He's a burnt baby now?
Yeah, how does
He's
that
a burnt
fucking
fetus?
Yeah, how is he a burnt fucking fetus? Because
Okay,
like
so
the
listen,
fetus
this is
stage.
actually pretty complicated, but Stephen Hawking covered it. When dream mothers who have been locked in prison by their dream sons give birth, it comes out as a burnt Freddy Krueger fetus.
You know what?
Okay.
That makes more sense than anything else in this fucking movie. So I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Either way, I gave it a 5 because there's nothing there. There's very little as far as the main characters go. You get a little bit at the beginning, a little bit at the end, revolving around Amanda and Freddy, and that's about it.
All right, Scott.
For this, I ended up giving this a 4 out of 10, mainly for the development for Amanda Krueger and Freddy. None of the other characters fucking mattered at all. Like they didn't give you enough to even show any true development. Just kind of like personalities, but I don't look at that as development whatsoever.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave it a 4. I gave a point because of the chick's paparazzi joke when she was at her graduation. I gave it a point for the comic book kid because I liked him. I gave it a point for Amanda Krueger, and I gave it a point for the Freddy Krueger development. So I gave it a 4.
Fair enough. All right, pacing and editing, I gave it a 3 because I feel like this movie is a fucking bore that just keeps repeating the same scenes over and over. And I get it, in a franchise, you're going to have some repeating stuff. But how do you take a ridiculous idea that I'm sure there was a way to make it interesting and just still repeat stuff in your own movie that feels like it's repeating itself in its own movie and not from the franchise? Like, your dream world looked almost exact every single fucking time, and we've been in the dream world fucking in 3 different movies now, and they were able to change it up in different sets. every single time yours looked like a bland, dark, brown area. So that severely hurt the pacing because I just felt like it was repeating over and over and over. And so because of that, I had to give it a 3. Jay.
I don't feel like I don't want to get too much into it like last episode where we end up not me and you, but we end up in a yelling match. But I don't feel like that's really fair in an unbiased way, and feel free to debate me here. But that's the same thing with Friday the 13th. Like, not the set side of it, because obviously that was a completely different set, but it's a dude stabbing somebody off camera for an hour and a half. Like, it's literally the same as the last 4 movies and not even as good. So if that one, because to me, pacing and editing comes from the story. Like, it's like 90 minutes. I don't know what the actual time is. 90 minutes, and they line everybody up and then they knock them all out. However you feel about the set and stuff, I don't feel should have any bearing on the pacing and editing score. I gave it an 8 because it, as stupid as the story is, it flows just fine. Like, they set up all the characters and they kill them all off. That's all we need out of these movies.
It set up 3 characters and killed them off. So, not a lot going on there. This movie is boring because it feels like I brought up the set because when I'm talking about repeating scenes, like I did bring up how in movies like these in franchises, we get a lot of repeating scenes. But I specifically brought up how this movie feels like it's repeating its own scenes over and over and over. Because much stuff looks like, I think that might have, you just didn't catch that part or I didn't say it clear enough. But that's what I'm saying. The pacing is hurt because it feels like a lot of stuff over and over and over the exact same thing inside the movie. It didn't vary enough for the pacing to be more engaging. There's too many times where I felt like I just fucking saw this. And one of the great ways that we're doing Horror Coliseum by spreading these movies out where we're not watching, the entire franchise in the matter of a week to do a franchise show is that we have enough time to decompress from the previous one while still having enough to be able to grab and touch that I can sit here and go, I understand repeating, if I said, oh my god, they're going back into the dream world again, we already did this in fucking 3 different movies. Like, that would be something just fucking stupid for me to say. And I would completely agree with you there. But for this one, just so I'm clear, I'm saying that the scenes inside the movie feel like they're repeating themselves. And I would give it a pass if it was repeating things inside the franchise. But to me, the movie feels like it has scenes that repeat upon itself inside the movie.
That's fair. That's fair. I can give you that one.
Okay. So, cool. Scott.
I still give it an 8, though.
Okay. I mean, it's okay, Jay.
Yeah.
We know you're wrong when it comes to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Listen, I've done a really good job at looking at these movies unobjectively as possible for someone who's a huge fan of the series. I'm watching this, and overall, I think it's better than the last one for a few different reasons, but we'll get into those as we go on.
All right, so we're doing pacing and editing, correct?
Yes, sorry.
That's all right. I just wanted to make sure I was on the right one. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. This was a chore to even focus on because I kept getting drawn to grab my phone and just look at it because there were just so many boring story elements to this that just kept dragging it down for me. There wasn't enough, I guess you would say, action in this that kept my attention, or even enough intriguing enough story to keep my attention focused. This is when I ended up starting to text you, Jerry, because I was just getting so bored just watching this.
Yeah, I feel you. When I was watching it, I accidentally killed an alpaca, and I don't even know how the fuck you do that in Tennessee. And yet I did it. I was so bored.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that.
All right, Kenneth.
I gave the pacing a 5. And I mean, the reason why I gave it the 5 is because the scenes where there was shit going on was really, really good. But in between the scenes where there was shit going on, it just drug. I kind of feel like you guys did, where I was just like, holy fuck, come on. let's just get to the next spot. Because I mean, I agree with Scott. It was a chore just to watch it. Especially because I watched it this morning because I was putting it off and putting it off and putting it off anyway. And then I watched it this morning, and I was wanting to go back to sleep when I was watching it. So I mean, it was just one of those things, and it's kind of hard to describe, but it's the in between. I just felt like there was just too much drag in between the action sequences.
Yeah, because I just really I was basically just waiting for the next kill.
Right. I kind of felt the same way.
Well, at least you got to kill every 30 minutes in this hour-and-a-half long movie.
Right.
It's definitely not that bad.
Okay, is it an hour-and-a-half long movie?
Yes.
Are there 3 kills?
Yes.
Okay, then. Atmosphere. I gave it a 1 because there is none, and I didn't feel like giving zeros. That's all I have to say. There is no atmosphere in this movie. Unless boredom's an atmosphere. If that case, a fucking 10. So I don't have a rank for this
10.
one.
You heard it. Jerry says it is a 10. Good job, Jerry.
Fuck.
Wow,
Jay,
I didn't know you
go
liked it
ahead.
that much, Jerry.
Yeah, y'all figured me out. I'm a Freddy fanboy. I'm a Nancy apologist. Did y'all see this shit where she said she wanted to come? Heather Lampkin wants to come and do another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Please, no. God, no. I will start believing in a God just so I can pray to that God to make sure she doesn't fucking act in another fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movie, because I know I'm gonna have to fucking watch it to fucking review on this show because it's Jay's fucking favorite franchise. So he's gonna pull his executive fucking card out and be like, bam, Nightmare on Elm Street, bitch, and I'm gonna have to do it.
I've actually got, I love that we do different movies that we don't, I'm actually glad that we're doing these 2 franchises in a horror Coliseum setting, because it puts us separate from everybody else. So I'm actually good not just diving into my favorite mass-known, everyone on Earth is reviewed movies.
Sweet, so I can remain an atheist and not believe in a God, so I don't have to worry about praying for her to come back to be as Nancy.
And I honestly would have to get on the Jay bandwagon on this one, because I would like to see it. Because I think that Heather Langenkamp's acting got better as she did these movies. You know what I'm saying? It sucked in the first one. It got better in the third one. And I thought she did a pretty damn good job in New Nightmare.
Well, if she can keep her mouth closed in a New Nightmare, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, bringing up New Nightmare, I have to say, that's saying something, because my wife actually made fun of her acting in that movie, and she never seen any of the other ones, and she's not a horror movie fan, and she was just like, wow, she's bad in New Nightmare.
Let her watch 1 and 3 and she'll agree with me.
Yeah, if she watches 1, she wants to see fucking how bad of acting. That movie is filled with bad acting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bitch can't shut her mouth. Anyway, so I had Atmosphere as a 1 because I believe there is none, and I don't want to give a 0. Jay?
I gave it a 7. I did crap. I just don't see the issues you guys are having. I think excuse me. I'm dying.
Did you watch the same movie we did?
Jerry's putting a curse on me, apparently.
Okay, yeah, I know, but explain the atmosphere in the movie to me, because I legitimately tried to find atmosphere, and I could. It wasn't even like the other ones where I felt there was atmosphere, and I'm taken out of it because of fucking some stupid catchline. I literally felt like there was no atmosphere in this movie.
I don't know, man. It's not. I don't know. I'm trying to articulate this. You got me a little shook here, Jerry. I just didn't. It didn't. It seemed consistent throughout. There was, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain this. I didn't feel that it didn't have 0 atmosphere, like you said.
Okay, well,
here, let's do it this way. So the opening scene where she gets locked in there, I thought that was fucking phenomenal. It was creepy. It was scary. She's locked in there with 1,000 or 100 or however many it's supposed to be, crazy people, and she's about to get raped by every single one of them. So
that was the only reason why I got the score that it got from me. and you'll hear it when we get there.
That's fair. But other than that, like I don't know, it didn't feel any worse than the other ones, I guess is how I'm describing it, or how I feel about it.
Okay.
And so that's why, like, it wasn't amazing. Like, it's not like I'm not like, oh God, I can't believe the atmosphere. But it also didn't feel any worse than the last four.
All right. Well, Scott, what did you give Atmosphere?
I gave Atmosphere a 3 out of 10, and that is mainly for what we'll be going into next with the set designs, because like I thought the church and the asylum gave kind of a creepy atmosphere, but that was about it, and it wasn't enough to score it even above average for me.
All right. Kenneth?
I gave it a 3, and it was just because of that, like I said earlier, that scene where, she's about to get raped by, 100 dudes. That was it. Everything else I didn't find creepy. I didn't find unnerving. None of it.
All right. Scenery, set design. I gave it a 5. This is one thing that the series normally shines on. But I feel like they just reused shit from the last 2 movies. And the dream world was so bland in this one. Like, I understand using so many dark colors. But at least in the last 2, they found ways to put some kind of color into it. Something to make it interesting, something to do with it. In this one, it was like the only time you had color was somewhat red with fire. Other than that, almost everything was like a rustic brown.
Or when it was bleeding out of the comic book, dude.
Yeah, or they went completely black and white with a comic book and was like, let's do the old trope of having one color show up in black and white. I just didn't like it, and so I gave it a 5 because I still do like this set of the church. I didn't care for the mental asylum because it literally looked like they just went to one room in the factory and filmed there. And it didn't impress me at all. This might be the most disappointing thing to me in this movie because I've always rated the scenery and set design so high for Nightmare on Elm Street, and this is just fucking bad. I was truly disappointed in this. This is like, I'm not mad at you, I'm just really disappointed kind of situation. So, Jay, what do you got?
Oh boy.
Okay, so I'm going to caveat this with, actually, I would probably lower my score after listening to you talk about it, filtering through your actual critiques versus just your overall hatred for the movie. But I gave it an 8. Like I said, I'd probably give it a little bit lower thinking about the repetitiveness of it. My brain didn't really put that together. However, I liked the set of the room, the holding room where they kept everybody. I really liked the dinner scene with that model chick who got killed. I thought that was really creepy in the way that it's set up, especially since I already hate like rich people for the most part. So that kind of played to my personal biases there. I liked the church. So I didn't really, like you said, it's not as great as it has been in past movies, but I also didn't really have a problem with it for the rest of it. And there was a few things that stood out as really cool to me.
Fair enough. All right, Scott?
All right, this is probably going to be shocking, but the scenery set design, I actually gave a 7 out of 10.
Get the fuck out of here.
And that's mainly because of the church setting and the mental asylum, because I do like that drab, looks like a factory style or warehouse style look, because it's basically, looked just like it was run down and not well kept.
How are y'all
asylum.
So impressed by one literally it doesn't even look as good as like the boiler rooms that we've seen in the previous movies. It's literally a giant brown room with a pipe in it.
I don't know. There was just something about it that I liked, but I do agree, this is definitely a lower score for the set designs than any of the other films, because the dream sequences were all pretty dumb, like, and didn't really have much creativity. The comic book thing was creative but terribly executed. But yeah, that's mainly the church and the asylum that gave it that rating. Like, I probably would have went a little lower if I thought about it even longer, but yeah, that's what I went with.
Okay, fair enough. Kenneth.
I'm coming in with an 8. I liked it, and
Man,
the thing about it is, this is
validated right now.
Yeah, and see, the thing about it is I'm not, the asylum, it looked cool. You know what I'm saying? The inside of the asylum looked cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't fantastic. It didn't blow me out of the water, but it looked cool. The inside of the church, obviously, it looked cool because it looked cool in the last movie. So that looked cool. My biggest thing that I really enjoyed about it was I enjoyed the landscape matte paintings. Like when they're first going into the asylum and you see the outside of it, that's a matte painting. It's not a real location, and I really, really liked the way that it looked, because it was a good idea for it, but at the same time it gave it that old school movie look, and I really liked that.
That's true. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, and that is what got me, that right there. That, because I was just like, I was kind of in the same boat as Jerry, where I was just like, this ain't nothing but a rehash and stuff like that of the other things and stuff like that. But when they threw that one in there, I was just like, oh, okay. I was just like, this kind of steps the game up a little bit more. So I gave it an 8 for that.
I had something. Hold on, let me look at my notes real quick, because I thought I had something about the matte painting. Yeah, so I really like matte paintings. In older movies, they work so well. I did not like it in this movie. The matte painting looked fantastic. Don't get me wrong. It felt really, really apparently a matte painting in this movie. Like,
and that's the reason why I digged it. Why I dug it, because it was like it went in with like the old school special effects of like and I'll talk more about this, but like when the diving board changes and shit like that old school look for the special effects, it went in with that, and I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know, for some reason I was just like, Jesus, could this be any more of a matte painting? But with me mostly liking matte paintings, that could be just my bias towards the movie showing. Which is one of the reasons it didn't really get talked about by me. Maybe I identified that it was a bias. And when we do Nightmare on Elm Street movies, Kenneth is usually the test between Jay and I, who's on how biased we're being. Because Kenneth likes Nightmare on Elm Street, Jay loves Nightmare on Elm Street, and I don't like Nightmare on Elm Street. So he's a good middle person.
That's true.
For me and Jay to go, how much is our bias showing? And we can kind of go, okay, where are we actually being unbiased or not based off what Kenneth says on A Nightmare on Elm Street? Works very well. That's why me and Jay get excited when Kenneth agrees with one of us. Because we're like, yeah, fuck you, I won. So Jay won that one because fucking Kenneth's a dick. All right, acting. I gave it a 4. This franchise is, once again, has a bunch of bad acting. The comic book kid acting was awful. The model chick's acting was terrible. I'm coughing because I can't get over how bad Alice still is at acting. I just don't like, everyone was acting in this movie was just kind of fucking awful, except for the parents of the father of the child. When they come over and they're like, look, basically you're insane and we don't want you to have this child, so you should give it to us. Their acting was great. Jay.
I gave it a 7. Nothing too crazy. I didn't really have an issue with it. I really haven't had an issue with the acting in general. The kid's acting was terrible. I don't know where they dug him up from, fucking like a popcorn commercial or something. But overall, I didn't really have a problem with anybody. It was standard for a slasher movie. So I guess what I expect kind of goes with what I'm watching. And so in these kind of movies, I don't expect amazing acting. And I thought they did just fine.
That little bastard was the same kid that the scientist fucking went on his rant to in Jurassic Park at the beginning.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's where he was from.
That's funny. Yeah, he didn't have to act there either. He just had to stand there.
Yeah, it looked creeped out.
Yeah, I'm real good at getting yelled at. My dad does it to me all the time.
Right.
Anyway, Scott, acting.
I ended up giving this a 3 out of 10. Like you said, the Mark and Greta, they were just horrible. Especially Mark. His acting was just bad. Really, really, really bad. Alice, just really generic. Nothing really special there. The child actor was terrible. And even Robert Englund just seemed like he kind of almost was there for a paycheck and just kind of half-assed it. It didn't seem like his other performances at all. But that's about it.
Kenneth.
I gave it a 3. I thought for the most part the acting was terrible. I mean, especially that little kid. Oh my god. Like that scene at the end of it where his face is, you know, half-assed looks fucked up because Freddy's face half-assed looked fucked up in this. Damn. You know, where he says that line where he's like, "Teach me." I was just like, "Oh my god, man, I want to vomit. This is awful." You know, and I completely agree with Jerry. The only people that seemed like they had any acting chops was Dan's parents. Those were the only people in the entire movie. Everybody else was just awful. And the chick that played Alice, it seems like that she fucking goddamn forgot how to act between the last one and this one.
Right.
I was just like, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? And then the way she delivered some of her lines to, I can't remember how it went, but like, let's go and stuff like that. I felt like I was watching fucking a goddamn shitty Transformers fucking cartoon. I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Damn.
It was, yeah, it was awful. It got a 3 for the parents, and that was it.
All right. We move on to special effects. I gave it a 6. I feel like they dropped the ball in this one, but they also didn't have that much to work with. To be honest, the only special effect that I thought was cool, and the reason it gets a 6, was Dan and the motorcycle. Because every other special effect basically just looked like honestly, I kind of wish I could drop this score now that I think about it. But the motorcycle one was really fucking cool. The comic book cut up I thought was lame. Her getting fed was fucking lame. Special effects wise, I just think they were lame. I don't think they did anything really that great. And Freddy's makeup looked fucking awful. Oh my god, did they just not even care? I mean, seriously, fucking... It
looked rubbery.
They did it in 4 weeks.
It's always looked rubbery to me.
It's not even that it looked rubbery. It looked like... It didn't pop.
It looked like a mask instead of looking like foam latex appliances.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it looked like.
It just didn't pop for me. It didn't have that, like, fucking evil look to it or burnt look to it. It literally was just like, well, look, we're going to color your head in yellow and put pepperonis on you, okay? Cool. Done.
The way I saw it is it looked like somebody fucking just, you know, went to the fucking Five and Dime and fucking picked up a Freddy Krueger mask and glued it to fucking Robert Englund's face.
Yeah, and the fucking long arm Freddy, like... There are shots of that long arm that look worse than they did in the first movie. Like, cool callback and all, but it's not good. But I will say, there were parts where Freddy is transforming and growing from the fetus to full-size Freddy. That actually did look cool. Some of it looked bad, but some of it did look good. I'm kind of in the middle here. I gave it a 6. I kind of wish I would have gave it a 5. But whatever, I gave it a 6. So a passing grade, I guess. Slightly above average. Jay.
Oh, man. I gave it a 9.
Fuck me.
I fucking... Dude, so... Okay, so... And I kind of actually realized while thinking about it, why I feel like the pacing is so good, despite there only being 3 kills. And that's because the kills take so much longer. Like the sequences that the kills are involved in, the dream sequences, take so much longer to play out than just like there's more going on throughout the entire scene than there is with like Jason stalking somebody, and then like the guy trying to start his car in Friday 5. That wasn't entertaining to me. And then Jason shows up and kills him, and the kill only takes a little bit. And so where there's a higher body count in Friday and a lower body count in Nightmare, the fact that the kills the sequences are longer makes it feel even to me. So that it kind of explains that now that I think about it. Whether you agree or not is besides the point, but that explains to me why 3 kills can have the same decent pacing as 5 or 6 or however many kills in Friday.
20.
That aside, what?
There was like 22 kills in Friday 5.
Really?
Yeah, if you include the 3 dream kills, there's like 22.
Wow.
Something like that.
Wow. Yeah, so that even goes more to my point that I didn't even notice there was 22 because
still not even as high of a body count as part 4.
Oh, I love part 4 so much though. Anyway, the fucking motorcycle transformation scene is fucking amazing. It's one of the best special effects in the entire series, in my opinion. That image of him has always stood out in my head. So I can't praise that one enough. I don't particularly care for the comic book one. I think I did a lot when I was younger, and some of that might still be lingering, but rewatching it, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see this is not that great. I mean, I love comics, but it's just, I don't know, something about it was off. But the overfeeding scene, I thought looked fantastic to me. I mean, I don't really expect somebody with their cheeks puffed out like that to look any way but how it looked. So while you guys think it looks rubbery, I thought it looked exactly how something like that would look. I mean, if you go back and watch any older horror movie where they're still using practical effects, there are a lot that stand out as not very good. But we still accept them because of when they were made. So I didn't think that looked any worse than any of the other special effects. I'll have to concede with you guys and probably should have lowered my score a little bit. Maybe I should start asking Jerry what he thinks of these movies ahead of time. So not in depth, just to get a bit. So I'm really trying to keep my personal bias and love for this series aside so we can look at these more critically. But there's a lot of the times where we go over them and I miss some things because I'm just enjoying the film. And so if I know what Jerry, just look little bits of what Jerry has notated, I can look and give it a better critical score. I don't think I would have gave it as low as Jerry did, but I probably wanted to give it a 9 after listening to what Jerry pointed out.
I think it's my highest rating. I think 6 is the highest rating I gave this movie.
Probably, but I didn't feel like you said. I agree with you. Robert's makeup it wasn't that great. But I also don't feel like it was as bad as you guys are saying either. So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's why I gave it a 9, but would have probably lowered it thinking about it a little bit more.
All right, well, Scott, where are you at?
With this one, I gave it a 5 out of 10. Mainly over what we've already talked about with the motorcycle scene. It looked like something that came from an H.R. Geiger painting, which was really cool. And the other one that no one mentioned that I wanted to bring up was the final confrontation between him and Alice when they're stuck together and they're pulling apart.
Oh, yeah.
I really love that effect.
Okay, hold on. I got a problem with that. Okay, so once again, it's the souls inside of his body attacking him, correct?
Well, they're pulling away from him, yeah.
How? He already transferred them to the fucking baby. At least 2 of them, he's already transferred them to the fucking fetus. So how the fuck are they still in him?
Yeah, that part I could not explain because, my score is definitely not based off of that. It's based just off that effect between those two pulling apart. But
We should add writing.
Isn't
like
that in the
first, like-
story? Wouldn't that be in the
No.
story?
No, because like you can have a great story and have terribly written dialogue. So just
With
like
shitty continuity.
us revamping it.
I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, sorry. I always have all these notes for the Nightmare movies because a lot of these are my like second time watch and I barely remember anything. So I have all these notes. I've been trying to sprinkle those notes in with my questions more during the conversation than after. So I wanted to bring that in. Jay, do you have any explanation to how the souls are ripping out of Freddy's bodies when he's at least transferred 2 of them to the fetus already?
No, that's just bad writing.
Okay. Anyway, anything else, Scott?
No, not really, because you guys covered it with the comic book effect. Like Jay, I think I enjoyed it more when I was a kid, even though this still wasn't one of my favorites. But being a comic book nerd back then, I thought it was kind of cool. But rewatching it now, no, it was not good. And then yeah, the scene with Greta, that I would say she looked like her cheeks were a puffed out her face looked like a puffed out version of a Cabbage Patch doll. That's like the best I could describe it. Like, because it does not look realistic.
It reminded me of the guy who gets really fat and explodes in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Though I will say, if they would have kept the original version of that scene, it would have been much better, because the original version, Freddy was feeding her own intestines, which is why later on, when the doll falls and her stomach is bleeding and all that, it's because he had fed her own intestines. Just like the comic book scene was also bloodier. The beheading in there was supposedly bloodier.
God damn.
And supposedly there was something more with the motorcycle scene, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But the MPAA made them cut it, which is weird. I'm like, 3 kills and you make them cut shit?
Right, and they weren't even that violent. Like, I actually remember the motorcycle scene being longer than it actually was. Like, I was kind of disappointed when it was like already done and over with.
In my research, I saw where it was saying there is an uncut version of this movie on VHS that has some of these elements, but everyone kept acting like it was like a mythical thing. And I'm like, if it exists on VHS, I'm sure at some point they would have at least taken the scenes and put them as a bonus feature on one of the Blu-rays if they exist.
See, I thought it was on the Laserdisc, but I could be wrong on that.
Could be Laserdisc. What I read was VHS, and I didn't dive deeper because I just didn't give a shit for me to try to figure out the answer. But either way, Kenneth, what do you think on special effects?
I gave special effects an 8. Because I thought the fucking motorcycle scene was amazing. I really, really enjoyed the old school claymation look of like when all the shit in the refrigerator went bad.
I forgot about that.
And the diving board, the thing about that when it turned into kind of like a hand and it had that claymation fucking, kind of a Harryhausen look to it. I really, really like that. The Greta scene, I'm kind of back and forth on because I really didn't like the way her face looked. And the fucking spoon on Freddy's index and fucking bird finger claws I thought was just fucking dumb. I think it really, that right there in that scene, that's what took it away from me. Is when I saw that we're getting further and further into the cartoony Freddy Krueger. And it's really irritating. But effect-wise, I mean, the practical effects, they look fairly decent in that scene. Even for that, even though I fucking hated the aspect of it, it looked cool. You know what I'm saying? Looking at it from purely not how it fits into the story or anything else like that, just the look of the effects themselves. They looked all right. They looked decent, But the motorcycle is what really did it. That was fucking great. And to me, I think that's what steals it. I would give the special effects an 8 alone on the motorcycle. Because that was fucking awesome.
All right. We move on to kills/gore. And I gave it a 3 because these are the lamest fucking kills I've ever seen. And I don't feel like they tried. While the motorcycle looks cool, his actual death is fucking lame. It's a fucking car crash. That's it. It's a fucking car crash. That's how he fucking dies. So, like, the cool leading up to it is cool, but his actual death is just car crash. The overfeeding thing, I don't like the feed them till they die thing. The only time that's ever fucking worked was in 7. Every other time I've seen it, I have not liked it. I thought it was fucking stupid. And so in the real world, she just fucking chokes and falls over. And then the comic book kill was just lazy. I'm just gonna fucking shred up paper. Really? That's what you're gonna fucking do? You're super fucking Freddy. You could literally rip this dude. You could pick him up over your head like a fucking Mexican cartoon wrestler and rip him in fucking half. And you instead just go back to regular Freddy and just fucking make paper mache.
See, what would have been cool there, though, is if, like, when it pans out and he's, like, laying dead, if he would have actually been shredded to pieces in real life. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree. Or if they showed, like a single slash, like when he slashes his stomach, they cut to him in real life and they see a chunk taken out of his stomach. Yeah. But instead, hindsight.
In real life, a bunch of shit just fell on him and he died. Nothing about these kills is exciting. They're fucking lame. They're so goddamn boring. There's no fucking imagination in them. Like I said, the only cool thing is the fucking body horror of the motorcycle and Dan combining, but then it didn't pay off in his death. None of these pay off in the death. The other world, in all the other ones, fucking they pay off in the death. Tina is thrown fucking across the room and is being fucking slashed up, and fucking, or kid with the fucking teardrop tattoo from the last one is inside his fucking waterbed. Like, they could have done so many cool things in like the whole thing of A Nightmare on Elm Street is how imaginative the kills are supposed to be. Even so it pays off against the one where Freddy just stabs him. I wish Freddy would have just fucking stabbed someone in this movie. That would have been more interesting than feeding someone to death or fucking cutting paper. I'm sorry, but the fucking kills in here are fucking just awful, and the only gore is in the motorcycle one. I give it a 3, and it doesn't deserve any more. Jay, what did you give it?
So looking at it with the way you shaped the category for your reasoning, I might actually agree with you. That's not how I rated it for mine. That's not how I view this category. I view the entire sequence as part of the kill. This is much how it goes into the pacing editing for me, that the sequence is what I'm considering in this. And because I loved the motorcycle sequence so much, and I loved the overfeeding sequence so much, that what did I give it, an 8? I looked at it a second ago before you asked me. An 8. Yeah, I gave it an 8 because that's how I was shaping and viewing the category. But to be fair, I would agree with you that if you look at the actual only moment of death, then yes, choking for a few seconds and falling on the table is lame, and a car crash is pretty lame. And then I do agree with you that the comic book is lame. There's so much possibility there that they could have done. I liked his costume when he turned into the Ravager, or whatever the fuck he called himself. I always thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
but the
lazy
actual
steampunk.
The actual death Steampunk wasn't even a thing then. Okay.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, that's
This
brand
movie
new.
is like fucking what, 88, 89?
Either way.
89.
I'm Googling. Keep going, I'm Googling it.
Either way, I still, yeah. So I'm counting the whole sequence. You're counting the moment of death.
No, I'm including the entire sequence. Like I said, the only sequence that was good was the motorcycle one. But my point is that sequence leading up to the actual kill is terrible. Also, 1960s, 1970s, and late 1980s as a tongue-in-cheek variant of cyberpunk. So, bam, suck my dick.
Well, you know. Either way, I think we're shaping the categories a little bit differently. I would agree with you if you're from the way that I am understanding you shaping it. But for me, I'm giving them an 8 just because they were incredibly entertaining. And I guess feeding people to death has been done before. So the only real like original creative one is the morphing of the motorcycle. But I felt that they were all fairly creative in general to me.
All right, Scott?
Yeah, this one, I'm kind of with Jay. I went with the whole sequence over just like how they ended up at the end. But I ended up giving this a 6 out of 10. Once again, mainly for the motorcycle sequence. But while the kill itself was lame, I did like the whole Greta's death being like she's being fed to death while these people are watching and just like chanting her on to eat more and everything. And I thought that was kind of a cool way to do that overfeeding scene. But yeah, 6 out of 10. It was, if there was more kills, this would have been a lot cooler at least, I think. But with only 3 kills and these 3 being the kills, it was kind of blah.
Does it bother anyone that with Greta, she gets killed from overfeeding, but they never really talk about her having an eating problem?
It comes
just
from
stereotypical.
No, it comes from her mom telling her like what she can and can't eat. Like she talks about it earlier when they're at the pool party. She's like, "Oh no, I can't have any champagne because my mom won't let me have carbs or sugar, or whatever the fuck she's talking about." So it's a constant throughout the little bit of interaction.
Yeah, they make a crack at her at the graduation too.
Yeah, but I'll say at the graduation, her mom catches her trying to eat like a snack.
I just feel like her death should have involved something more with her mother than her mother just watching and laughing as Freddy overfeeds her.
I think that
I agree.
Yeah, that's fair.
They put more into it if it's not executed well enough when they go into when dude's having his comic book thing and he looks up and he sees Freddy and Freddy's doing the whole guts, putting it in her mouth that you brought up. But that whole sequence right there is comparing her to a porcelain doll. And they didn't go into it far enough to really accent the whole porcelain doll, I'm just an object kind of thing like they should have.
Okay. Well,
can we talk about that creepy dinner guest who was like, "Oh yeah, your daughter's body's so hot."
Right?
It was fucking creepy. I'll give you that. I'm not sure when the dream sequence started, so I don't know if it was real life or dream.
Oh man, with the group of friends that she keeps, I can almost guarantee that was real.
Fair enough. So Kenneth, what did you give Kills and Gore?
I gave it a 6, and I probably was being just a little bit too generous on that because, with it only being 3 of them. But I'm with Jay and Scott that the whole sequence. I'll do the entire sequence.
Oh, okay, hold up, time out. Y'all keep saying that I'm not taking in the whole sequence, but I brought up multiple times how I don't even feel like the sequence led into it being good.
Well, it's because when you were talking about it, you kind of differentiated. You did. You kind of differentiated.
No, I was trying to differentiate how different this movie did the real life kill versus the dream and the kill compared to the other movies.
Oh, okay.
And how
I actually kind of liked
it.
I actually kind of liked it. I kind of liked it that they took the real life kill and put it a little bit more in realism. Believe it or not, I actually did kind of like that. So I still stand on a 6 because I like that aspect of it, and I like the sequences as well. You know, because that's one of those things where it's like, you know, I've always kind of felt like in the other movies, even though it's cool, at the same time, I've always felt like that was kind of a plot hole. Where, you know, how come these parents are not fucking wondering how their son spontaneously got sucked into a bed?
No,
You know-
I agree with you.
You know,
I kind of
so-
write that off as like that's a movie thing, you know?
Right.
Like
Right.
just like they don't
So-
ever explain like there was an episode of Married with Children where Peg and the two kids there's a news station talking about how a mother and her two kids were going to jump off the roof of some building and how there's no real life repercussions from that, but it's just a movie TV thing.
Right.
And so I accept it.
Right. So I mean, so that was one of those things that I always kind of felt like was a series plot hole. But at the same time, I liked the aspect of in this one that they gave real world reasons for their deaths, like the shelves falling on the kid and damn had what's her name died, she would have drowned because we just assumed that she would probably have drowned in the hot tub or the pool. You know, I kind of like that aspect of it. So
That's
that was
a really
awesome.
good point. I have to give you that. There's a really good point. It's unfortunate that they waited till the fifth shitty movie to do it.
Right.
Because had they had done that in the beginning, that would have been... If they would have done that from the get-go, it would have added so much more mystery. It would have been harder for the kids to convince the parents of what's going on. It would have been easier for the parents to live in denial. It would have been a much better thing. But to wait till the fucking fifth movie to do it, it's kind of a little too late.
And see, when you get, you know, and the only reason why I'm bringing it up now is because I'm afraid that we're going to forget about it, but we might not. But it kind of goes back and forth in the next one.
That's true.
Yeah, it does. Like some of them are just like, you know, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, this is real world death. And then there's a couple of them where you're just like, what the fuck? You know? But, I mean, I like that aspect of it. So, I mean, like I said, I think I would probably came down a little bit on the kill because, you know, I think that the acting that Greta did while she was choking, where she looked like a fucking deadite with her arms up when she was choking in the real world, I was just like, okay, that's kind of stupid. But,
Yeah.
you know, other than that, I kind of liked it. So I gave it a 6.
All right. I also want to state how fucking stupid it was that the driver in the truck that crashed into Dan came out wearing similar clothes to Freddy.
That was
Yeah, I thought
funny.
That was not funny.
It
That
was.
No, it wasn't. It was
It was
fucking
to me.
stupid.
You know what I think one of the dumbest fucking things about that sequence is?
What?
The fucking truck exploded, and that guy is not burned up, and neither is Dan.
That's true. All right. Monster / killer. I gave it a 4 because Freddy looks like an imp. He looks like goddamn Dobby the elf from Harry Potter grew the fuck up. I bet fucking you could beat him in this movie if you just gave him a fucking sock. He's not scary in this movie.
No.
The fucking feeding scene is just goddamn. Oh my god! It's so hard to watch when you're just like, this is supposed to be the villain. Like, I hear people always complain about Super Freddy. I didn't really have a problem with Super Freddy at all. I was waiting for Super Freddy to be like this really corny fucking thing, and it wasn't. It wasn't played up that much. But the fucking feeding scene has ruined Freddy for me, like, way worse than anything Freddy's ever fucking done. Way worse than him in the pizzeria eating the fucking soul meatball. It's just fucking goddamn awful. And Freddy in this movie just... I don't know what they were trying to go for with him, but God, no. Just stop. Jeez, like, no. I don't even know how to explain it more than that. Give him his fucking sock and let him be free. Okay? Jay, go ahead.
Again, another score that I would probably lower. Thinking about it, I did give him an 8. Not really earned now that I'm, listening to again, you. I'm definitely going to talk. Well, I don't really like the next movie, so I don't really need to talk to you about it, actually, because we'll probably agree on a lot of things.
I hope I love the next
anyway,
movie.
some people do when they're like, "Oh man, it's so much better than the remake." I'm like, "No, it's fucking not." But that's besides the point. I gave him an 8. I felt like he was a lot less silly in this one compared to 4. He still had, I mean, Super Freddy. Hey, listen. Super Freddy aside, like he was on the beach in fucking sunglasses in the last one. And this one, at least
He was in like
being
chef hat.
over. I guess he did have a shed hat on. You know what? I've got no excuse. I've got no excuse. I'm stuck with my score because that's our rules. But you know what? You guys are right. It should be lower. So I'm not even going to try and justify it. When I was initially watching it, I was like listening and trying to pick up one-liners, and I felt like overall he was a lot less silly. But you're right. There's just more to being silly than one-liners. So
Like, this dude poured champagne to burn his arm off and then used it as a goddamn seatbelt. Okay? Just take that fucking in.
that's funny.
For a moment in time right now, I wish my score was lower than what it is.
Well, speaking of scores, let me stop ranting and this shit. Scott, what did you have this rated as?
I gave the Monster / Killer a 6 out of 10. This is where I feel Robert Englund just, I don't know, he just didn't seem like he was into his character nearly as much as in most of the other films. And, like, yep, this is when we get full-blown silly Freddy and him exclaiming, "It's a boy!" and all these other silly one-liners and the seatbelt and the chef hat and the Super Freddy. There's just so much that, I couldn't give it anything more than a 6.
All right. Kenneth.
I gave it a 5, and I wish that I was not stuck with my score the more that I think about it. Because, like, I'm with Jerry. That scene where the feeding scene is fucking terrible. It is awful. And the more that I think about the spoon on his claw, the more irritated I get. That irritates me more than the fucking chef hat. I mean, it bothered me.
He's just following standard safety precautions for when you're cooking. It's sanitary.
It bothered me this morning. It's bothering me now. And the more that I think about it, I mean, the seatbelt thing, I don't understand. I don't understand that. I think that was fucking dumb. The scene close to the end of it where for some reason when he's getting attacked by all the fucking by the 100 maniacs, only one arm gets ripped off, and then he basically just ties it back on with the fucking sleeve of his sweater. I was just like, that's fucking dumb. The way that he sounds is fucking stupid because they don't add the deep part of it like they did in the previous movies in this one, so it fucking sounds stupid. His fucking makeup looks god awful. I mean, if I could change my score, I'd probably put it at a 1.
Oh, damn.
Because the more that I think about it, the more awful it gets. And the only reason why I would give it a 1 instead of a 0 is because I still love Robert Englund. Because it was just fucking awful. And you can't say anything about Super Freddy because that wasn't Robert Englund.
Right.
Okay. It wasn't?
No.
It was his voice.
Yeah, that
It was his voice, but another actor played Super
I
Freddy.
figured they just gave him a bunch of...
Also, there's another actor who plays Freddy in this movie. At some point towards the end, there's a shot of like just Freddy's hand with the glove, and it's not Robert Englund. Yeah, bitch, I study.
Good for you.
Just like that's why I know that Lisa Wilcox did not do her nude scenes. And Freddy only says bitch twice in this movie.
And it sounds awful when he says it.
It does.
Like that spot where what is it? We'll see bitch or some shit like that where he's talking to fucking Amanda. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into Hero. I gave it a 4 because she's just as boring in this one as she was in the last, but at least in this one, she has a struggle against Freddy, unlike the last one where she didn't. So I gave it a 4. She's boring as shit. Jay.
Again, just overall thinking about the movie while we're talking, a score I'd probably go lower, but I was not as gracious as some of the other categories in this list. I gave her a 7, just because, it wasn't. It was more of the same, but it wasn't too terrible.
I don't even feel it was more of the same because you literally didn't use any of the superpowers she previously had. She was just boring still.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, Scott.
I'm with you there, Jerry. I gave it a 4 just because, I didn't even feel like she was really even the hero in this one. It almost felt like, once again, a combination of Amanda Kruger and Jacob and Alice together. And, once again, Alice really didn't do much, where Jacob and Amanda Kruger are the ones that kind of took out Freddy in the end. And
technically, it was Yvonne for setting Amanda Kruger free.
Oh, that is true. But yeah, I just gave it a 4. There was no real definable hero in this one, I felt.
Yeah. All right, Kenneth.
I gave Yvonne a 5. And the reason why I gave Yvonne a 5 is because she seems like the only person that can follow fucking instructions.
That's true.
That's true.
Even though literally the whole Yvonne, her going and doing that is just like part 3 with fucking
the doctor
dude going and digging up the corpse.
And that's who I said was the hero in 3.
That's true. You did. Score, soundtrack. I gave it a 3. I thought the motorcycle music is awful. The Looney Tunes music that randomly plays really ruins it. I could not get into the score for this fucking thing. I gave it a 3 because at least they changed a little bit of the jump rope song, so it was something slightly new. Other than that, I really didn't give a shit. Jay?
I gave the score a 7. Just standard slasher music. This one is one of the harder categories for me too. So unless it really pissed me off, or really stood out, it kind of falls. I guess for the middle, I should put it more at a 5 or a 6 if that's how I feel. I've got to take some time and look at how I personally score these things.
It's a growing process.
But it ended up with a 7. Thinking about it again, man, maybe we should put in some kind of amendment where if the other person convinces somebody enough, they can change their score. I don't know how bad it fucks up your. I don't know how bad it fucks up your process, but maybe.
Well, here's the thing. I think the good if I think it's enough that we go, you know what, you convinced me, I would have changed. Just admitting it, I think, is good enough.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good
I don't think
point.
we need to add extra math into this.
That's fair.
I like the fact that we're stuck with scores.
Yeah.
All right. Score and soundtrack, I gave a 7. But again, something I probably would have rated. I'm going to start. Actually, I'm going to keep that in mind now for both movies and any future horror Coliseums. If something doesn't feel amazing, but it also doesn't feel bad, I'm probably just going to throw a 5 at it.
Yeah. To be fair, I have a hard time with music soundtrack also. That's probably my hardest category.
Well, I mean, looking at the rest of the categories, honestly, the story, again, to me, not really bad, but also not really raising. 5 is fair. A lot of these categories, special effects is probably one of the only scores I would actually keep the same.
Yeah, but you have to be careful if you start using 5s all the time. Because then it's just oh, he's always right in the middle. So you have to be careful. You got to throw your 5s in, in certain... the 5s should be used almost like 10s. Rarely, but sometimes you just have to do it. Maybe not as hardcore as 10s, but sometimes you have to do it.
Okay.
I kind of do the... folks. Yeah, I kind of do the Mr. Watson style where he starts off with the 5 and then we'll add a point or take away a point as the movie goes on.
Well, I do love Mr. Watson.
But that's not a bad idea, actually. For the way my brain works, that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, that's true.
I would like to love Mr. Watson.
Wouldn't we all?
He's got
check
such
out
a
our
great
shows
voice.
we've done with Mr. Watson, selfless, shameless promotion. Check out our Last House on the Left review. And
That
my
one is
interview.
awesome.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
thank
still
you.
maintain our Last House on the Left review is better than everyone else's Last House on the Left review. I'll put it up against anyone's
And I didn't even get to be a
fucking
part of it.
podcast. That's true.
Yeah.
You should listen to it.
It's fucking great. And my interview with Watson, and check out Watson on Horror Corridor. It's ballin'. Great fucking podcast. But let's get back to the point. Scott, what is your rating for score/soundtrack?
I gave this a 3 out of 10, mainly because this didn't even try to attempt to keep the typical Nightmare on Elm Street theme with like the do. I can't even do it off the top of my head, but like the typical theme that you hear in almost every one of the movies, and it's not even in this one. And most of the music is forgettable, and the only reason it gets a 3 is just because of the cheesy rap song at the end.
Okay, fair enough. Kenneth.
Gave it a 7. I thought it was good. I enjoyed the fact that it wasn't typical, but it also wasn't one of those things that, gave me emotion in my chest and made me want to get teary like some music tends to do, no matter what emotion it conveys. But it wasn't something absolutely fantastic, but it didn't run in the middle either. And I think the reason why it got a couple of extra points is just because of that fact that it wasn't the run of the mill, typical melody for a nightmare film. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, and here's my problem. Much like you shouldn't reference another movie, a better movie inside of your shitty movie, there are 2 different points in time in this movie where I all of a sudden want to watch Looney Tunes. Once because it was playing Looney Tunes music, and the diving board scene, it kept making me think of the Bugs Bunny versus Yosemite Sam diving board episode.
Oh, just wait till next movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway. Okay. Scare factor. I gave it a 1 because nothing was scary at all. Like, I'm deathly afraid of cars, and your car shit didn't even scare me because you burned off your arm with champagne to use it as a fucking buckle. Pretty sure the car had a fucking buckle in it you could have used. Anyway, nothing was scary about this movie. Even trying to put myself in characters' positions, I just couldn't. I could not do it for this movie. I tried, but I scare factor's a 1. Jay?
I gave it a 7. I feel like I've been using 7s where I want to use 5s, and I need to find a different number for when I think things are just kind of okay.
in this category, it should be lower than a 5, homie.
Well, that's your guys' opinion. Like,
you really found parts of this movie scary?
No,
other than
I
one.
didn't listen. So listen. This category is notoriously hard for me to score because it's very hard for me to put myself in people's situations and feel an emotion without actually being in this. Like, even when my wife asked me, she's like, "How would you feel if so and so and so?" And it could be something as simple as if I put a cheeseburger in front of you, or something as complicated as like if we could never have kids. Like, it's so hard for me to guess how I'm going to feel without actually being in a situation that I have a hard time being scared by watching other people in a situation. I know logically nothing is going to happen to me by watching these people interact. So this category is very hard for me to score. I thought the shower filling up and her almost drowning was pretty good. I feel like I would be pretty freaked out if I was in a situation like that. I don't like deep water. Abyss is probably the scariest movie I've ever watched, just because it all takes place thousands of feet under the water.
We are totally going to do that on this show.
Oh yeah, I fucking love the movie. It's just,
Have I seen The Abyss?
when people ask me like what I'm afraid of, I'm like, super deep water. I don't like it. Little fun side tidbit. Tomb Raider 2 or 3, I can't remember. There is a stage where you you grab like the end of a submarine and you're pulled into water. And the very next stage, you have to swim away from a shark to a certain point on the map to trigger the next sequence. And I couldn't do it. I had to hand the control. I was like, you have to do the sequence. My anxiety was way too high to fucking play that sequence. So water's always fucked with me. So that one, is a little bit scary. Again, I wrote the score when earlier I felt like he was less jokey, but then as we've talked, obviously he's as jokey, if not a little bit more in this one. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that one. But again, this is one I would probably lower after talking about the movie.
All right. Update, I have not seen The Abyss. I was thinking of Leviathan.
It's so good. It's more
Also
sci-fi than horror, but it's so good.
Well, we'll put it on the list. Scott, what did you give Scare Factor?
Scare Factor, I ended up giving Scare Factor a 3 out of 10. The only scene and the only reason I gave it a 3 out of 10 is because the motorcycle scene when I was younger creeped me out, because my dad would always pick me up and we would go riding around on his motorcycle, and it just kind of got under my skin, because I would ride on the back of the motorcycle and I would think that like my mind would just wander off and I'd think that would happen.
Okay. I can see that. Kenneth.
I gave it a 2 because of the Amanda Kruger, getting raped by 100 dudes. That was about it. That was the only thing that I found to be scary. Other than that, it wasn't. It was like watching a cartoon, and not even an enjoyable one, because I love Looney Tunes.
All right. Entertainment, I gave it a 3. The movie is boring and uninteresting to me. There's enough visual appeal to not make it get a 1. I can definitely think of worse movies, but it's pretty low from me. Jay?
Entertainment, I gave it 8. This one I'm actually sticking by because I don't really know how else to rate this besides personal entertainment, and the movie entertains me. I like all the sequences, regardless of whether or not I think they're stupid. So the movie itself is still entertaining to me. So that one I'm sticking by. I would absolutely give it an 8, and yeah.
Okay. Scott?
Entertainment for me, I gave a 2 out of 10. I was not even the only slight entertainment I had was Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, just because even when he's on screen, he's entertaining to watch, but there was no enjoyment whatsoever out of this film for me.
All right. Kenneth?
I gave it a 2. Because of the entertainment factor. The only reason why I gave it a 2 instead of a 1 or a 0 is because if I was flipping through the channels and I saw it, I'd probably leave it on in the background while I clean my house or something. That's probably about it.
All right. We go into rewatchability. I gave it a 3 because, that's not happening. Unless I have to review it for something, not happening. Jay?
7. I would rewatch this list just like Friday 5. I would rewatch this one to 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite. It's not my least hated. But typically when I'm doing, if I'm doing a marathon, typically I'll do 3, 4, and 5, just because of the interconnecting story. If I have limited time, if I'm not like marathoning them all.
All right, Scott.
Rewatchability, 1. I will never watch this again unless it's for a podcast.
Fair enough. Kenneth?
I gave it a 3, and it's pretty much the same reason as the entertainment. Like I said, it's not that I couldn't rewatch this movie. It's not bad enough to where I couldn't rewatch it, because I could. It's not one of those things that I'm 100% going to completely dread and avoid at all costs, because I didn't with this one. I just put it off as long as I could. But it's not one of those that I completely dread. I could sit through it again. You know what I'm saying? But would I pick it out of the entire series to watch again? Probably not. So I gave it a 3.
All right. We move on to pop culture. And it's funny enough how Jay was talking about how he should give 5s because he's kind of... I had to give pop culture a 5 because I honestly don't know. I literally have no idea what either the fan base or the non-horror fan base, regular people, think about this movie. Is this the one known for ruining the series, or is that the next one? Which one's considered the one that ruined the series? I literally do not know.
The remake. Everyone hates the remake.
Well, but that didn't ruin the series. Like,
I suppose that's
people talked about it being ruined long before that. But I just don't. I literally don't know. I don't know how to to score this at all, so I had to give it a 5. Kenneth, I meant not Kenneth, Jay.
I was like switching it up there, Jer. I gave it an 8, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good movie, but it is often talked about when discussions of the series are brought up as being fairly bad in general. You know, it has its fans, but the motorcycle scene, regardless how you feel about the other movie, still sticks out as, I think, one of the best sequences in the entire series, despite some of the silly things like the seatbelt. But yeah, so that's why I gave it an 8.
All right, Scott.
All right, for pop culture, I ended up giving this a 7 out of 10 because I feel this is the height of Freddy's popularity, because this is right around the time of Freddy's Nightmares, that TV series, and he basically was this was like right off the heels of Part 4, which I believe was the highest grossing of the films. And so yeah, that's kind of why I gave this a 7 out of 10, because at this point, everybody knew Freddy.
Okay, that's a good eye. Kenneth.
I gave it a 7 also. And the reason being is because I kind of feel like the same way that he did, where, you know, it's kind of riding the wave of 3 and 4. So, you know, it came out right after the 4th one. You know, it was specifically made to ride that wave. And everybody knows it is the movie, you know, isn't there a Freddy movie where Freddy had a baby? You know. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's
true.
Yeah, so I mean, it's popular for, if not anything else, for that reason alone, is because of how absurd, you know, the Freddy having a baby thing is, and people know this movie because of its absurdity.
Okay. Well, with that being said, look at this yawn out. Fuck. Okay. Here are the scores. Jerry gave it a 52. Kenneth gave it a 72. Jay gave it 111, and Scott gave it a 60. So Jay comes in the highest with 111, only 1 point higher than his Friday the 13th score.
Yep. I'm glad I redid the math.
Yeah, I came in the lowest with 52. Those ones really hurt. Scores. I think I got out all of my questions. So I do want to point out, props to this. If I could have had a bonus category for this one, bonus category would have been plus points for calling Freddy a child molester in a news clipping.
Oh, yeah.
In the movie, I originally had written down, so in this one, he just murdered kids and isn't a child molester yet. Because they talk about how he murdered kids. But then there's a news clipping article that says he is a child molester.
That's probably left over from the original, because that was the original plan.
Yeah. I mean, so I just wanted to point that out. But other than that, I think I answered all my. I was able to put all my questions inside the categories for once. So with that being said, Friday easily takes this one.
Yeah,
it was barely a
Freddy.
Battle.
Yeah, this was like no contest.
Unfortunately, Jay tried, but Freddy didn't. It seems. That really didn't happen. So with that being said, Friday is in the lead. Next Horror Coliseum will be Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, versus Nightmare on Elm Street 6, Freddy's Dead. Is that the name?
Yep.
Okay.
I want to tell you who wins.
Actually, it's just called Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. There is no part attached to it.
Oh, well, I mean, there's no part in most of the fucking Nightmare movies.
No, that's not true. They're up until, like, the first 5 are numbered.
No. But I meant, like, using the word part.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Because they just do 5. Like, Friday the 13th kept with the part. Except, actually, number 5 didn't. Friday the 13th 5 is actually Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. It does not have part, and it does not have 5 in the title.
Really? I could have sworn.
Yep. If you look at it, when it comes on the screen, it just says Friday the 13th, A New Beginning.
Interesting.
So, fair enough. So, with that being said, the next one will be coming. I believe 6 will have Jerry Cortez on here. who does Underwater Kaiju from Outer Space with me. But, Scott, let's go ahead and say thank you for coming on. Thank you for agreeing with me a lot. I appreciate that. That's the way to get back on this show, is agreeing with me. So, pimp out your shit real quick, man. Tell the people what you do and where you're at.
Yeah, how much for a blowy?
That too.
Well, thank you guys very much for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I hope to do this again with you guys sometime down the road. But, yeah, you can check out our show. We are the Podcast by the Cemetery. We are on Legion Network, so you can go to legionpodcast.com and find us there. We have a Facebook group that's the Podcast by the Cemetery, and that's pretty much it. Oh, you can also check out my articles that I write for pophorror.com, where I cover a lot of video game stuff because they created a video game section on their website. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Me and Jay met through video games.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Back when
and I
was a
share your
hardcore
guys'
collector.
love. And I share your guys' love for video games because that's pretty much my life, that and horror movies.
Jerry actually let me advertise the online store I had at the time in his group that doesn't allow selling. That was pretty nice of him.
That's true.
Look at Jerry being nice once in a while.
I'm nice all the time, Scott. Look, I didn't yell at you like I yelled at Derek, so...
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Derek knows I love him. So yeah, I don't know when the next episode of Kill the Cast is going to be. Maybe this coming Sunday. Maybe the next Sunday after that. Who fucking knows? Because my life's a wreck, and I'm trying to fucking fix it, and being diabetic sucks dick.
Yeah, it does.
It is the fucking worst. But I'm keeping with this diet so that I can stay sane and not kill myself and do more podcasts for you wonderful people out there. Also, I gotta say, Scott, I was looking at my Angela figure for Night of the Demons. That paint job fucking sucks on her face.
Really?
I was looking now. She looks like she is missing her middle teeth because the red from her lipstick is covering up her two fucking front teeth on mine. And like the eyes, like when you look at the picture on the back, the eyes are yellow with a red dot, but on the figure they're just red. And like it's like on the box it looks like she has eyeshadow, but on this one it looks like someone just took a paintbrush and just globbed her eye fucking red, like it's all over her fucking eyebrows and shit.
Yeah, because mine has red eyes too, but the teeth look fine for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I should contact Screamer NECA and be like, what the fuck, guys? At this point, I think I just don't care.
Yeah, because that's just kind of lazy paint job right there.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Maybe I'll just blast NECA on Twitter for the fuck of it. I ain't playing with these cats no more. Also, I want to say thank you to Jay for my Pumpkinhead t-shirt. I did wear it on Halloween, but I got sick on Halloween, so I didn't actually do anything. But I did wear it.
Yay!
And it looks fucking awesome.
I'd like to whatever company that was that you had me order it from. In the special instructions, it was like, any special instructions, I was like, write a note that says "Happy Birthday, Jerry." And I didn't think they'd do it, but they did it. Someone took a scrap piece of paper and hand wrote "Happy Birthday, Jerry" and put it in the package with the shirt. So
yeah, so
good on them.
The company is Cavity Colors.
Yes, good job, Cavity.
I have like a couple of enamel pins by them. I've got Cavity Color socks. In fact, they had these 3 Halloween bookmarks, and normally they only give 1 per order, but they actually gave me all 3 variants, and I'm pretty sure it's because of Jay telling them that it was my birthday. And so they gave me a birthday sign and gave me all 3 bookmarks.
Oh, nice.
I've got like an Evil Dead bookmark from them. They do kind of cool shit like that, and I've got some enamel pins. I mostly order enamel pins from them, because I've got a Howling and a Elvira and a Pumpkinhead from them. I really dig them. They put out wonderful shirts. I actually want some of their stuff, but it's sold out. They have some Void shirts for the Void I really dig. So check out Cavity Colors. They're fucking awesome. I super stand behind the shirt. The shirt I have is wonderful. The enamel pins I have are awesome. And they have all kind of cool stuff. Like they've got disc mats for record players and like candles and shit. There's all kind of cool stuff. Check out Cavity Colors. 100% great company. Love them. With that being said, check us out on Facebook, all that stuff. I'll eventually update the YouTube channel and we'll get back to making YouTube videos. Like I said, life's been kind of hectic for everyone. But we're getting back in the groove, getting back into things. Happy 4-year anniversary to us. Thank you, Kenneth and Jay, for continuing to be on the show with me. I know it's hard. I mean, I know you get hard while we record.
Fuck yeah.
I was hard the whole time.
Before I was going to say it.
Yeah. And thank you for everyone who listens and who posts in the Facebook group. Shout out to everyone. I really want to have some of the guys in the group on the podcast who don't really do podcasts. Abraham, I'm looking at you, Ram Man. You need to come on and we need to cover some metal ass. You need to come on. We need to do like Deathgasm or something.
Oh, Deathgasm's so fun.
Awesome.
So I'm
Such
throwing
a
it
good
down.
movie.
Abraham, the Ram Man, let me know if you want to come on for Deathgasm and we'll make it happen.
Fun tidbit: the main skinny dude is actually a Power Ranger.
Yep.
Is he the one that stabbed someone?
No. I think I've mentioned this before, and you've asked me the same question. That person is in jail.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe he filmed it before he fucking went to jail.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, he was a Green Ranger in the RPM series.
I only fuck with Super Sentai, so go fuck yourself. With that being said, guys, we are out of here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out for the Horror Coliseum. Thank you for Scott for coming on. Thank you, Attempted Suicide, for saving my life.
Telling you, man, that is the name of our book.
Yeah, Attempted Suicide saved my life. Me and Jay are going to put out a poetry book in 2019. That is not a joke. It's dead serious.
Awesome.
And with that being said, I think we're out of here. It's been almost 3 fucking hours. And I would like to get out of here before it is 3 hours. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. We love y'all. Have a good day or night or whatever you're doing. If you need help, reach out to people who actually give a shit. And if they share, repost this number on Facebook for suicide awareness, they don't actually give a shit. Don't contact those people. Contact the people that tell you secrets that they really shouldn't tell you. Those people give a shit. That's who you want to talk to.
Message me on Facebook, and I will answer you. I don't care who you are, if we're friends or not. You can go to our group, find my page, message me. I will just be like, hey, I need to talk, and I will always answer you.
Same.
Yeah. We are here for you. Fuck life, get cats, that kind of shit.
I love my cat.
I just rescued another kitten outside.
Yeah, you did.
So
Well,
cute.
it's like
Jerry
adorable.
knows me. I have 5 cats now.
Exactly. So we're out of here. Thank you and good night. And hopefully the next Nightmare movie is better.
Don't
No,
pick up
it's
the
not.
clear condoms off the street.